but who knows if it will or not. Alright, yeah, it's working, it's working. I think we're back. There you go. We're live.
Well, go ahead. Alright, so just give me 1 second.
Yeah, you need to go to your subscriptions, not your dashboard.
Just give me a second.
Technical difficulties!
We're actually live. I'm having technical. Oh my
Technical!
God. I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's showing live on my end.
Can people hear everything? Is my question.
I don't know. I don't even.
Yeah, it's coming through on mine.
Okay.
Okay. Look at us. We're just winging it tonight. Fucking holy shit. I am fucking pixelated as a motherfucker on YouTube.
Ghostface.
So we're back, and I want to apologize to everybody for the... What? God damn it. So, let me mute real quick. There we go. All right, so we're back. I don't know if anybody caught anything that I was saying. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in a hotel. Fuck. So, we're gonna talk about something happened tonight. Whoa, zoom in on my phone. Something happened at NWA tonight. Also, NWA added a new title, or is adding a new title. We're going to talk about what happened on Raw, the big thing that happened on Raw. We're going to talk about, oh my God. I don't know if I want to see this guy. This guy's a fucking people. We're going to talk what happened on NXT. We're going to talk about what happened in AEW. We're going to talk about what happened on SmackDown. We're definitely going to talk about what happened on SmackDown, because what happened on fucking SmackDown is a big controversy, and it shouldn't be. People are being fucking overly fucking sensitive to fucking everything that happened in the world of fucking wrestling. We're talking about some people that got released from... I don't know why you keep doing that.
Zoom in, motherfucker! It's on my end, don't worry, I can't fix it. It is what it is. Whatever, you look like a pixelated mess anyway.
Right. They're to talk about who got released for... I don't know. Can we get that fucking goon off of my fucking... You're covering Heather's face with this fucking asshole. Some people got released from WWE. Some people got in trouble with the... And oh my God. we're gonna end up getting fucking... And then we're gonna talk about Philly.
It's like the when you're at the arena and you got the graphics, the 3D graphics.
So what do you guys want to start with? About a top story that happened tonight?
Let's do it.
Because it's actually, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, the title of our chat call is Marty Scurll is not All Elite. Marty Scurll showed up at NWA Power Into the Fire tonight. What does that mean? I don't know.
He was smart.
I think it was I called it. I said he should go to NWA. That doesn't mean that he's not going to go anywhere. This right now is a good move. He doesn't need the Elite. He don't need them. If he wants to build a name for himself, I would prefer him to go somewhere else and build his name. That is my thinking on it. People are losing their fucking minds on goddamn... Oh my God. People are losing their minds on fucking Twitter. People are losing their minds on Twitter because he can go to AE. He doesn't have to do anything that you fucking morons want him to fucking do. And yes, I'm calling fans fucking morons because it's what you are. You're fucking moron. This is gonna be so Marty Scurll is not joining AEW at this time, which I'm okay with. I would prefer he never goes to AEW. I prefer him to make a name for himself and go from there. But that's just me. What does everybody else think?
He's where he should be. I mean, he's going to build a name with all this, and he's going to build a name for himself, not a name with the league.
I feel like he's already created, like, he already, like, his character was born off of the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club. So he's already kind of established in that respect. I can see him going to NWA Power and having a run there with the championship, or at least a run against the champion. But I do ultimately see him ending up in AEW. That was a really good close-up of the fucking wall for some reason.
Right? It happened. It's because I lean back. So, Ronnie, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I agree with him. I know he's got talent that he's worked with before. He's got friends there. And with the way the Elite is now, and you've got Paige that's left, you're going to have, more than likely, something's going to happen this week with Paige and Kenny, because it's already started. You should already start seeing the faction with that breaking apart. I just think he's better off, like you said, just making a name for himself elsewhere. And then if he does decide down the road, then so be it. It may be a better fit down the road.
I agree.
I feel like NWA Power benefits the most from this anyway. Like Marty Scurll, I think personally, I feel like AEW would be the right place for him, just money wise and exposure wise. But NWA Power is going to benefit from him going there. I myself am not a huge fan of fucking Marty Scurll. I don't think to me, he doesn't draw me in. I felt like the things he was part of were bigger than him himself. But we'll see. Maybe he's going to be one of those guys that surprises me.
Right. There are people out there saying, "Oh, this is now AEW's going to join and combine with NWA Power." Look, NWA has their own world champion. Do you think NWA wants to diminish the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship
That's been around
over the AEW World Title? That to me makes absolutely no sense. So for people sitting there saying that, shut the fuck up. Billy Corgan's trying to build his own fucking brand. It's been a dream of his forever. They are not combining forces, which we're going to talk about that now, since I brought up his name. Billy Corgan, I've seen it, and it's not just people are saying that Billy Corgan was the bald guy for AEW with Brandy Rhodes. Really, people? Billy Corgan is not that big. That guy his head is bigger than my body. Okay? This guy has a huge head, and he's bigger than Billy. Billy Corgan's probably, I don't even think he's 180, 195 pounds. I don't think he's that big. So for people saying that it's Billy Corgan, it's not. It's actually, Basement said who it is. I looked it up. Fits perfectly. It's Dr. Luther. I don't know his real name, but that's who it is. It's not Billy Corgan. Come on, people.
Billy Corgan looks like a fucking Make-A-Wish child.
And why?
He looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like Voldemort in that picture.
But the guy from the back looked more like reminiscent of Kane than anything else, because he was fucking jacked and bald-headed. It's like, oh my god, if he looks like Billy Corgan, then I look like fucking The Rock.
Yeah. So Billy Corgan owns NWA. Why would he want to promote another company over his? NWA is trying to build themselves as another promotion. Yes, it's a studio-based program, but they're still trying to build their own brand. They aren't trying. The NWA used to be like bigger than WWE for the longest time. I don't know what's so funny.
moving Jordan.
I'd be careful there, Marty. You might
Racism.
People might get upset that you're behind a white guy. But anyway, so
Oh,
just saying.
Shit.
So my thing is, well, he deserves it. He's, oh my god. Poor Marty's. God damn, Jordan Miles has a big ass fucking head. So anyway,
Wait, that one, yeah.
so Billy Corgan doesn't want to have anything. I'm not saying he doesn't want to have anything to do with any other promotion. He's trying to build his own brand. So why would he show up on another promotion? That makes no sense.
Now, outside of Billy Corgan, I think it's a nice idea or a good idea for them to, like, her Brandy Rhodes thing is going to be like an intergender thing where hopefully they have men and women under that one network of whatever the fuck they're called, the Nightmare Collective.
You want to know what I think it is? Straight edge society. I don't give a fuck.
Well, they've got a lot of factions right now.
I do
Budding
not
factions.
Yeah, I briefly looked up the guy after Heather put it in the chat last night, and I mean the guy's 51 years old, and I remember him once I saw his picture from Japan, and that was back in the 90s when he was over there. So I mean, he's semi-retired. He's from Canada, so I don't think it's a big name that people are going to know and recognize.
No. And speaking of 51-year-olds, PCO is now the Ring of Honor champion. He beat, I can't even think of his name, at whatever the pay-per-view was last night. So
Bobbitt,
he
isn't this
is not-
Glacier? Isn't this Glacier?
player. I don't. He's on the screen
No,
there.
PCO is not Glacier. I don't know who you're talking about.
Glacier?
No, Glacier. Who, Glacier?
Yeah.
I know who Glacier is, but who are you saying is Glacier? The guy we were talking about before, or PCO?
PCO.
No,
No.
He's not Glacier?
no. I can't remember.
Kind of looks like
who
Glacier,
it was.
man. That's all I'm going to say.
It's not Glacier. It's not. But he's
It would have been cool if it was though.
Sure.
Because he'll be a world champion.
Who was he before PCO? He was somebody else.
I'm looking it up right now.
Heather's looking.
Okay, I'm telling you, he's Glacier.
Pirate.
The Pirate. What?
In the BWF.
Oh, he's that fucking that fucking guy.
He is a guy.
That fucking pirate. The pirate with the one eye in old fucking wrestling.
I don't.
Jean-Pierre
know.
Lafitte.
Yeah, that's PCO. Yes,
There we
Jean-Pierre
go.
Lafitte.
And his real name is Pierre Carl Ouellette.
Yes.
What a
Yes.
fucking
Let-
gay lord.
He went against Rush last night.
Okay, yeah. So, and he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, and now he beat him for it. So he is the Ring of Honor World Champion. I think he's like 50. How old is he? 50.
He was born in '67.
So he's 52. Wow. That guy's an old fucker. So yeah, that's going on. I just makes me not want to watch Ring of Honor. 'Cause I didn't.
What championship
like
did he win?
He won the Ring of Honor World title.
Oh, okay, that's not good.
No,
And the attendance for that event, it wasn't a big arena. It wasn't like a big arena in Baltimore. It was like at a university. And the pictures that I saw, I mean, it looked like maybe 1,500 people were there, if that.
Since Ronnie brought that up, let's talk about that. So apparently people on Twitter worrying about Hard Campside not being sold out. Look, people, we've talked about this. It's a known fact. It's been proven. It's been said over and over and over again, not by me, but it's been said by the promotions. The Hard Campside is never sold out. There are never people in that section. Why? I don't know. They did do that during the Attitude Era. I don't know why it's not. But for people, stop worrying about how many. They were sold out. They sold out what seats they could sell. Why are we so worried about how many people attend a show? Is the show good? Is the wrestling good? Because when you go to a show, you don't go there for, yes, you're going there to see your favorite wrestler. You're going there to see, but I don't give a, if I'm at a wrestling show, I don't care about promos. I want to see wrestling. I'm there for a wrestling show. Can we stop worrying about what is going on with the hard cam side? Who cares?
The bottom line is, like, they basically move people from the hard cam side because the cameras don't capture it. And also on the hard cam side, they have all the people that are working as technicians. Like, I sat there for Raw on the hard cam side, and you could see everything on their monitors that was about to happen. This is why people don't sit there, because sitting there spoils some of the show for you.
Right.
See, come on, people. Think about what you're asking. So,
but it's also the people that are like, okay, so this was a tweet somebody put out about AEW having, like, they said it's only 2 months into their programming, and they already can't sell at a show. I'm like, you seem like somebody that's never actually gone to a live wrestling show, because those seats are always empty. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, well, Full Sail. I'm like, yeah, Full Sail is a fucking tiny arena, man.
Yep. But I think they have a section that they don't see people. I don't know. I've never been there.
They don't have the production on that side, though, because you can see it when they use any camera angle. They show a lot of, like, pretty much every angle. The guys that are making the production are in the back.
Mm-hmm. The arena that they were in Dallas isn't that big anyway. They weren't in that big of an arena. They weren't in where WWE was last night, which I think is an 18,000 seat arena for a basketball game. Yeah. So people worry too much about what seat got sold and what they worry more about that, or would rather worry more about that than what's happening during a wrestling show. They're more worried about what seat they didn't sell, who's a racist, who
how many views this one's getting versus that show.
It's just shut the fuck up. People are so dumb, and I'm talking about Twitter people. The Twitter community is so fucking toxic. Like, you can't even have a fucking opinion on something. I was told that because I don't like the Bray Wyatt thing, the Fiend, that I shouldn't be watching wrestling. So because I don't like one character,
the ratings came in too, and they tied. You still had people complaining.
Oh well, no, I'll get to that. I ain't even got to that yet. I've had people tell me that I shouldn't watch wrestling because I don't like the Fiend. Dude, shut the fuck up. People just need to stop. These are the people that are ruining wrestling. Okay. They are the ones that are ruining wrestling, and it's kind of disgusting that people are telling other people that they shouldn't watch wrestling because they don't like something. If everybody liked the same thing, this world would be fucking boring. Shut the fuck up. Let people watch what they want to watch. Let people, if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you, I don't care. You ain't going to change my fucking mind. The way that they have built the Fiend is trash. It's garbage. I seen it coming from a mile away. There were people out there that said, give it a chance. I'm like, I can't, because I know where it's going. So that's why I don't like the fucking Fiend. So yeah. Let's talk about Raw. What happened on Raw? The big thing that happened on Raw is we've seen Seth Rollins 4 times during the show, and everybody's like, oh, is he going to turn heel? When's he going to turn heel? Seth Rollins is this, Seth Rollins that. People hate Seth Rollins, but yet they want to fucking talk about him. And it's because people want to turn heel. So we get to the end. Was it towards the end of the show?
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the end of the show, and he turns heel. He was in the van when AOP beat the hell out of Kevin Owens, and he was sitting in the back of the van. And then he comes out and cuts a promo. And he cuts a promo on the fans. Essentially what I've been saying, what we've been saying, the reason that fucking wrestling is fucking being ruined is because the fans don't know what they want. They can't accept shit. And I don't know why the screen just went black.
Sorry. That's definitely not me. You're back. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. It's just, it is what it is. But so the thing is, I don't know why people are so worried about. And then I lost my train of thought because I got a 1-year-old over here yelling.
She's giving her opinion too.
Wendy, say it again.
I said she's just giving her opinion too.
I've heard enough of her opinion today. I'm not gonna lie to you. What was I talking about? I was talking about Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Huh? What did you say, BB-8?
Seth turning heel, cutting promo.
Oh, Seth essentially come out and cut a promo on the fans, saying you are the reason why I did what I did, which is what most heels do. So whatever. I like the heel turn. Whatever. I'm glad he cut a promo on the fans. They are the problem. Whether people like it or not, or want to hear it or not, the fans are the problem. Because, and he's right. I did everything that you asked of me, which he did. His character did everything that the fans wanted. And then when he does it, oh, now he's a piece of shit. I can't stand Seth Rollins. He defends the WWE Universe, but yet they shit all over him for defending the WWE Universe. Like, well, we don't need to be defended. Why were you bitching about it no more than 2 weeks ago, saying, why isn't Seth Rollins standing up for us? Or because he stands up for WWE, people are shitting on him because it's not the cool thing to do. You know what? He works for the company. He's their top guy. Whether people like it or fucking not, The Fiend is not the top guy. He's just a bridge to get to their next fucking story. Yeah, I fucking said it. Deal with it. The Bray Wyatt is nothing more than a fucking bridge. He's a paper champion. Deal with it. So Seth Rollins, what? Oh my God, carry the one, motherfucker. The promo he cut was perfect. I wish he was a little more aggressive with it, though. In my opinion, did you guys watch it at all?
I did. I thought he should have been more aggressive with it too, and I also felt like they kind of like limp-dicked it at the beginning.
They did.
And then they had him in the back of, I don't know how this fucking vehicle was constructed. Like, it had this weird, like, villain seat implanted in the back. He's like, you know what? Let me slowly turn around. But, like, in the end, it got over well with me. Seth Rollins needed to change. The fans were turning against him anyway. And I thought they pinpointed exactly why he should be turning heel. It wasn't I'm all of a sudden becoming, like, the authority guy. No, it's more like, you know what? I gave you fucking everything and fuck you guys. And it was the perfect way for him to turn heel.
Yep. Just marking off stuff that... Ronnie, what about you?
Yeah, I didn't actually watch it. I actually was with what you guys had put in the chat, and then I just saw the little clips on YouTube. But, I mean, it was bound to happen the way they did it. I mean, I was fine with, especially when they had built it up with AOP and then with what he did on Monday. But on the other end of the spectrum, it should have been done months ago.
Yep. Well, not months ago, but it should have been done a couple of weeks ago for sure. And they tiptoed around the idea, and then they finally pulled the trigger.
But they basically slaughtered Seth Rollins for Bray Wyatt, who was already like fucking dead. Like he wasn't dead, but he was on the verge of not being as hot as he was. It just didn't seem like they basically killed something to make something else to kill that. It's just that track record for Raw and SmackDown. We can't have something good because then we have to kill it immediately.
Right. And that's mostly the fans because they don't know what they fucking want.
Well, they want it, and then when they get it, they don't like the way it's done, or it's not to their liking.
And that's essentially the promo that Seth Rollins cut.
Right.
And you don't, and he said, you guys don't know what you want. You think you do, but you don't. You have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Right, and in Daniel Bryan, I mean, calling the fans fickle, that's exactly what it is.
It is.
But I think that promo could have been so much better if he was just like visceral and real with it. And maybe it's because of the person they had doing it that Seth Rollins doesn't have the capability of being that real visceral asshole. But that promo, though it was a good one, it could have been one of the, if not the best promos of the year, if it was handled in a bit more real sense and he just let loose, because he seemed to be like restrained while also trying to tell the truth.
Yes, and I agree 100%. If you're looking at the flat, I'm actually watching Star Wars New Hope. They actually shut it off. It's kind of odd. Plus Wendy just so yeah. So that's the major thing that happened on Raw. I would say nothing else. The Lana and Lashley thing. I'm gonna say this right now. I loved what Rusev did. He essentially was he was epitomizing what the fans thought of this fucking thing. He literally looked at Lana and said, "Can you shut the fuck up?" I mean, he didn't say that, but can you shut the hell up? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you have to say. It's essentially what he had to say. And I'm going to say this, and I never thought I would ever fucking say this. I can get behind Rusev Day. Why? Because he got it over himself. It went away, and he brought it back. He brought it back. Nobody else did. So that's how I can get behind it. That was my issue with it from the beginning. He was able to get it back over, which I'm okay with. Now it's his. That's all I wanted to say. I don't know what any of you thought of that segment.
I thought it was good because it epitomizes everything that I hated about that stupid storyline.
Mm-hmm. I don't. The story. What?
It said same here.
Same here. What?
That I agree with Rusev. It epitomizes everything. It's like telling Lana to shut up.
Well, I'm gonna say this. She's supposed to do what she's doing. Because how is Rusev gonna get over if Lana just sits there and looks pretty? You get what I'm saying? Oh my God, Bobby Lashley.
No, I get it, but he's an annoying bitch.
I look, Lana is doing her job and she's doing it very well, right?
She's doing it to the point that she's got the FBI and she's got personal security because of the death threats from this.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's what?
I said that's ridiculous that people would give her death threats. I mean, we all don't like her, but so it's like that's going too far.
Who said I didn't like her?
I love her, and I love Bobby Lashley.
What she's doing right now, I kind of like. Rusev did bring up this, or Lana did bring up the sex thing, but and what I liked is Rusev actually shut it down before it even got started, which I liked. So the sex thing is actually not even really a thing anymore. They keep talking about it, but it's not really even a thing. And if you keep thinking it's a thing, and the only reason people are fucking losing their shit is because it's making Lana look bad. How is it making Lana look bad? Lana's sitting in the back laughing at all you dumb fuckers that are saying that this is making Lana look bad. How is it making her look bad? She's making money off you motherfuckers. It's called storytelling. I'm gonna say this. Do they do this in TV shows? Kind of stories, these kind of storylines on TV shows, right?
They do them on soap operas.
Yeah.
Okay. So how WWE, is it not a TV show?
Yeah, every week.
There you go. So why are we complaining? I get it. Not everything is gold with WWE. My thing is my God, who cares if it's a sex story or whatever? They tell bad sex stories anyway. It doesn't really make a point.
Point. Well, that's not good.
Huh?
What?
What's not good?
Oh no, everything kind of froze for me.
What'd you say?
Everything froze for me.
Yeah.
That's why. But we're back. Whatever. Fuck.
So Rusev, Lana, I enjoyed that segment.
I mean, I don't care about the like. Okay, so it's never been a thing for me. I mean, it's not like WWE hasn't done this in the past. It's like they're in terms of like when they do the man versus woman angle, it's kind of their bread and butter anyway. They go to this like really Jerry Springer angle with shit. It is what it is. It's happening. The only thing is that like it takes up a lot of TV time when there's other things I'd rather see. Like, you've got fucking Ricochet versus Cedric Alexander on main event. And you've got this fucking bullshit taking up 20 minutes of these assholes being like, no, that was my pussy first!
Right? Yeah, I mean, I can understand the problem with that. But, hey. So NXT and AEW. Talk about NXT and AEW. Both were good shows. NXT was better. Production value was better. Storytelling was better. My issue with AEW, I actually streamed NXT because it was the better show. On paper, it looked better, and the matches seemed better to me. They just seemed better. They did a better job. And people are complaining because they tied it in the fucking ratings. And there's literally somebody on fucking Twitter that's like, there has to be one TV channel or TV in the household that actually won the rating, that actually... Dude, does it fucking matter? We're so worried about one fucking TV as to whether or not they're watching. It's not like the show is going to get canceled because AEW loses to NXT. That's not going to happen. And NXT is not going to get canceled because they lost to AEW 10 times in a fucking row. It's not going to fucking happen, because if that is the case, NXT will just go right back to the WWE network where they get more fucking viewers than AEW does. Why are people so worried about fucking ratings? They act like it's the end-all be-all of everything.
Man, it all started with the whole fucking Trump versus Hillary thing. As soon as that became a thing, then like 90% of people just started caring about, we have to choose sides in everything. Everything has to be a war.
They tied in ratings. Who cares? Who cares? And why is it the key demographic is a certain age group? Isn't everybody a key demographic? Don't you think? It's like that Alanis Morissette song. Don't you think it's a little ironic? Come on, man. Think. Why is it that only 18 to 34 or 18 to 49-year-olds are the only thing that everybody wants? That's not true. WWE tries to hit all of they try to go from 0 to 99, and it doesn't always work. But at least they're trying. AEW tries for the 18 to 34-year-olds. They get the 18 to 34-year-olds, but if you look at the demographic, they are missing. They aren't even close to SmackDown or Raw as far as 18 to 34-year-olds.
I think a lot of the key demographic shit has to do with more so the people that are gonna put money down on everything else, not just watching the show. Like who's gonna buy the merch, who's gonna have kids that are gonna want the merch, that type of deal, instead of just who's gonna watch. Because everybody still matters, but also I'd rather have the attention of the fan base that's going to spend extra money on the peripheral bullshit I'm selling than the 70-year-old man that loves wrestling that doesn't buy shit.
Good Lord, child. Oh my God. Every time. Look, they tied in the ratings. I don't give a shit about ratings. I never have. Again, and I say this every week. If I gave a shit about ratings, I'd be watching Temptation Island on fucking Mondays, Tuesdays. I seriously, I'd be watching Survivor. I hate Survivor. I don't ever want to watch Survivor. Why are people so worried about what ratings? Why? Can somebody give me? I know Basement gave me an answer. But I want an 18 to 34-year-old to actually give me an honest-to-God answer as to why. Typically the 18 to 24-year-old, because they're the fucking AEW fans that are fucking worrying about the one fucking television set. There's got to be one television set that actually watched the show, one show over another. There has to be a winner. Does there really have to be a winner? If there has to be a winner, I think it would be, I don't know, how about wrestling fans? Think about that for a second. You're being petty over one fucking over a tie. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be blunt with you. The viewership for both shows is dropping. What does that tell you?
This is people putting metrics over quality. I mean, just because you can quantify something doesn't mean the metrics even make sense half the time, because they're not 100% proof. Analytics work, and a lot of companies put a lot of fucking weight on them, but they also, the successful companies, know that analytics don't tell a full story for what people are actually watching. But a lot of people fall on them as the crux of the only reason they can defend their argument. Oh, NXT is better than AEW. Just look at the ratings. AEW, well, fuck that bullshit, because there's been a slew of shitty fucking entertainment programs that have gotten everybody to watch. People watch drama. That is it. Drama bullshit sells all the time. A good wrestling has more to do with what happens in the ring and storytelling than it does with the flavor of the month. Someone comes out there and gets his cock massaged by a fucking Japanese hooker. Everybody's gonna watch that shit. But if it happens every week, no, I won't.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, in my household, I have the 18 to 34 demographic, and then I have up the 35 to 49 demographic. And last week, we had one TV. My son watched AEW, and I watched NXT when we did the show. Mm-hmm. And after that show was over, he says, I'm not watching AEW next week. I'm going to be watching NXT.
Why?
Because he didn't care for the show Wednesday night.
Okay. But did he explain why?
Well, it's just basically the stuff that happened during the show. I mean, the promos he liked. He liked the MJF promo, but of course we had the audio issues with the one promo. Then it was the matches. The matches that they said, they weren't appealing.
So the ratings within themselves is skewed anyway, because not everybody has a Nielsen box. Okay, right. You have to be picked to have a Nielsen. We talked about this last week. So that one person that we were making fun of 2 weeks ago, saying he's got his 7 devices so that fucking AEW doesn't lose to NXT next week, and they still fucking lost. And then he doesn't have a Nielsen box on any of his devices. If he does, you only get one device. You don't get it on all devices. It doesn't work that way. It goes on one box or one TV, and that's it, or whatever device you have. That's it. That's it. That's how it works. Doesn't fit on every fucking device in the household. At least I don't think it does. So that being said, stop. Don't grab 7 devices because you think you're gonna help fucking AEW beat NXT in the ratings war. It don't matter. Or NXT and beating AEW.
Somebody that even thinks that's a good idea, all you're doing is actually, you're basically killing whatever experiment is being run by ratings. Because someone putting, like, if I hooked up fucking 20,000 views to NXT just to skew the ratings for that night, it's not a true telling. It's not what those companies want because it's not realistic. They're not getting 20,000 people watching. They're getting one person watching 20,000 times. It's just like such an ass backwards way of doing things mentally that I don't get it.
So anyway, back to what I was saying, and the ratings are dropping. The viewership is dropping for the shows. And it's like I said, when this whole thing started, wrestling has hit its peak on viewership. People are not interested in wrestling. People would rather be doing other things than watching wrestling. Me, I'm 49 years old. I don't go out to the bars anymore. I don't hang out with, unless I have a work-related thing. I'm at home watching TV, hanging out with my daughter. I'm the demographic that they should be hitting. It's not these 18 to 34-year-olds that would rather go out and
to the mall or to
go to the mall or go to a strip club and take a picture of some dude, literally a dude. Somebody.
The strip club do you go to in your youth? You go to a strip club and take a picture of a dude.
Motherfucker, and I'm not naming names, and I know who it is, but I'm not going to name names. This motherfucker literally took a picture of himself hugging a woman's ass. Saying, hell yeah. No, he looked like a fucking idiot.
Hell yeah.
He looked like I mean, come
Fucking
on,
Bobbit.
man. It's like you look like a dumb shit. I hope she farted in your face and gave you pink eye. What? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fucking idiot, man. I mean, and this is that same person that's always fucking bitching about fucking the one. He's the one bitching about the one TV. He would rather be getting pussy at a fucking strip club because that's what the picture looked like than actually fucking sitting down and watching a TV program. Shut the fuck up.
But with the way that people access entertainment now, I mean, wrestling is not a must-watch in the moment thing anymore. It hasn't been since Dirt Sheets started spoiling everything all the time. I can literally watch NXT or AEW the next night. Sure, things are gonna get spoiled if I'm gonna stick and watch everything that comes up on Twitter. But at the same time, it's like I'm still probably gonna watch the show a day later, a couple days later, and those repeat viewers that are watching, and a lot of us watch through illegal means, or we watch through means that are legal but they're not tracked. But bottom line is just the numbers are not real.
No.
And people that cling to them are fucking retarded.
Say it again?
People that cling to the numbers are fucking retarded. They're trying to prove a point that doesn't need to be proved to anybody. Because nobody cares.
And that's on both sides. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's both sides. Shut the fuck up and enjoy the fucking wrestling. Because I don't know how much longer it's going to be here with you fucking idiots fucking ruining it for everybody. Just saying.
Well, everything seems to be ruined as soon as it becomes something. So I loved it until I hated it, and then I made it canceled.
Right. Everybody that's out there about the fucking ratings, grow up. Who cares? I don't give a shit Who fucking wins the fucking rating? I hope it ties every fucking week, just so I had to get the Twitter meltdown on fucking Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon.
That being said, I watched both shows, and I thought they were on equal playing ground. I didn't think one was that much better than the other, in my honest opinion. So, I mean, what the fuck, man? It's not like one blew the other one out of the water completely. Because then there could be an argument for saying, oh, the ratings are this, but what the fuck? One was like SmackDown and one was NXT. Because then it's a complete obvious difference. But they were both okay. Neither of them were great.
I mean, AEW, there really wasn't nothing big that happened. I was in and out of the show. I just could not get into it this week. I was a little more and yes, I'm going to say it. I was a little more in tune with NXT because of the main event.
Yeah.
That was a good match. It probably the match of the night for me because of the implications of the match itself. Next week, the number one contender for the NXT World Title is Finn Balor. He beat Keith Lee, and everybody's like, "Oh, Keith Lee's buried." No, he's not. Jesus Christ. He can't win everything, and that's that's another problem that I see with wrestling fans. If somebody that it is so hot right now that doesn't win, people are losing their shit because he's buried.
This is one thing NXT usually does. They are really good at taking their time with talent.
Well, and that's the thing. Keith Lee, he has had so many memorable moments over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it's building for him. And if they continue to go with that pace with him, it's going to eventually lead to him having a title shot and a win. It's not like, okay, you're like what they did with The Fiend. He was red hot. Well, let's put the belt on him. They go and do it, and now it's pointless.
It was The Fiend.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. If you do that to someone that has built up like they have with Keith Lee, the fans are going to, in a split second, they'll turn on him and say he's a boring champion.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember the Daniel Bryan thing? How that built? The crescendo that built with that? It got Daniel Bryan over. I even got a little bit behind Daniel Bryan with that. It worked. And I can see that they're kind of doing the same thing with Keith Lee. Let it build. That's called storytelling. Everybody's like, I hate the fucking storytelling in WWE. But if you don't give me shit right away, well, I'm going to shit on all over wrestling. Then don't fucking watch it. And I don't know why Keith Lee is blocking me. But
it's like when he came up behind Finn Balor in that one gift.
Right. Let it build. Let the storyline build. Because if you're just going to immediately hotshot it and end the fucking story, what are you going to do when it happens? People are going to shit all over it. They're going to shit all over it.
So if Keith Lee was all of a sudden fighting for a championship and won the championship, this is how Raw and SmackDown fail every time. Keith Lee, he got a really good rub. Everybody knows who he is. He's a made man. He needs to kind of work the ladder still. He needs to go against somebody for I think he should be one of the next North American champions. I think he should go against Roderick Strong, potentially hold that title for a bit until Velveteen Dream comes back and let those guys work together a little bit. It's just like a guy like Keith Lee, with the size of Keith Lee, you're going to face that problem of all the big men. Once they own the championship and they lose it, what the fuck do you do with them?
I know. Heather's boob popped out. Sorry about that, guy. I'm just... But anyway... So yeah, let Keith Lee build. If you can build Keith Lee and the way that they're doing it, I like the way they're doing it. Leave it as is. Don't rush anything. And NXT or AEW, and I do understand that they do have to hotshot some talent. However, stop hotshotting everybody. They're hotshotting MJF for no fucking reason. Let that guy build, because if you hotshot him I guarantee it, Within 3 months, he will be wrestling for the AEW World Title.
Well, I actually think that AEW is in this unfortunate place where they have to build big names semi-quickly. And I say that because, like, an injury hits Chris Jericho, they're in a problem place. An injury hits Cody Rhodes, they're in a problem place. Like, they do not have the wealth of talent that WWE has to pick and choose from. If those top guys go, then you're gonna hotshot them anyway. So you might as well build them up. But I feel like with MJF, I'd build him up to be strong, but still not main event level. Get him to that point where everybody knows his name because of his promo work. Give him, they need that middle of the road title.
Yes, I agree with you to a certain extent on the hot shotting, how they have to. But I don't know if we talked about this, but Kenny Omega, how hard has he fallen? I am sorry, and I don't care. They have ruined him.
No, and I will say, when he didn't sign with WWE, he already took that L.
And he doesn't care. And he should. In fact, he should be that guy. That if Chris Jericho or Cody Rhodes gets hurt, that he takes that spotlight. And right now, in fact, he should be that spotlight. This show, as good as Kenny Omega doesn't want to be the center of attention. Well, guess what? If you want your product to get over, maybe you should be. I don't want to hear, well, they're trying to build. No. Kenny Omega the show should be built around Kenny Omega. I don't care.
It's not like Kenny Omega's 45 years old and ready to retire. You know what I mean? Like, the guy, you can still have everything the way it is and Jericho be the champion, but you don't be fucking twiddling your dick in the corner with Kenny Omega. The guy still needs to be pushed properly. And now, I don't know what his character is. He seems to be crazy, but not crazy, but fucking, I don't know. He has no character. He just wrestles.
But he should have come in with the character that he had when he was in New Japan. That's his character. That's what he should have been. Yep. And they didn't fucking do it because
in favor of pushing who? Darby Allin? Like, I'm sorry, but Darby Allin will never be a Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is one of those talents that I think is like he's a special in-ring talent, and you need to capitalize on it while you can. And he already took 6 months off to do fucking nothing, and then he started wrestling again. The guy should have fucking went to WWE. He should have signed a 2-year contract if possible with WWE. He should have worked on his mic skills. He should have made a name for himself, and then he should have went to AEW. Not him going to AEW to fucking play tiddlywinks in the back with fucking Joey Janela.
Right. It is what it is. I mean, what else? Darby Allin coming out. People were saying that Cody Rhodes doesn't have any friends. Well, Darby Allin come out and said, "You're my friend," or whatever.
Well, they made the match for this Wednesday. It's him and Cody against the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny again.
I'm trying. I know you are. I'm not looking at you. Say it again, Ronnie.
This Wednesday, they've made the match for Cody and Darby to go against the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. So, like last week, you had Cody and was it QT Marshall? Now you're getting Cody and Darby Allin against the same people.
We're gonna be getting Cody Rhodes and a tag team partner
every week.
Against Butcher and the Blade.
This is the problem with AEW doing so little pay-per-views. You end up with, yes, you have the ability to build long-term storylines, but you also end up with you're forced to actually put filler in for a lot of shows. And exactly that QT Marshall match and this match that's going to be with Darby Allin, they're filler. Yes, it's fleshing out some characters a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, if anybody's watching a long-running TV show, you get to those moments where it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense for the character. But again, it's a skippable episode because nothing progresses.
Correct.
Well, and then the other match that you're getting next week, you're getting that Chris Statlander against Britt Baker. And it's like the ratings are out the window because whoever wins that match will go against Riho on the 1st of January.
as a number one contender, even though Shida is the number one
Yeah, well,
contender.
Sheeta's actually, she had to go back to Japan because there's a match going on there that because I don't think she's full on signed with AEW yet. I think she's still.
She was in the audience on Wednesday night.
No. She put out a tweet today. She's flying back to Japan. She said she will be back after some mock-up match or something like that.
What's up, Gino?
Hey, Jim.
What's up?
So, yeah.
So that's I mean, we bitch about WWE throwing stuff together, and this is exactly what AEW is now doing. Even though I know this is their last show till the first of the year, but MJF's not going to give his stipulation to Cody till that match or to that event in January, and then they've got a pay-per-view that they can build towards, which is February 29th, and that'll be in Chicago.
Right. Yeah, AEW wasn't bad, but it's just a show that I kind of watched it, but then I kind of just.
I mean, I liked it. I thought, I disagree with you. I think that it was actually on par with NXT this week.
Well, NXT wasn't that great. I'm not
That's
saying
what
it
I'm
was.
saying. I'm not saying either one of them.
I will say this. I think that the main event for NXT was better than anything AEW did.
I think the NXT had a better main event, but overall, NXT. What else happened on NXT? I remember the first match. The rest was.
We had Yim and Dakota Kai, which was a
Right.
of their
Dakota
feud.
Kai, you had next
And
week.
Leo Rush and Garza.
Next week, Leo Rush and Angel Garza. Angel Garza beat Leo Rush for the Cruiserweight title, which I think they were going to hotshot the title. Why? I don't know.
Potato, you mean?
See,
Hot
and
potato, whatever.
Basement and I were talking about this last night, and aside from the Angel Garza, the Angel Garza match, we actually kind of forgot at first too, but the only real memorable match for us was that last match, because we were sitting there going, Basement remembered the women's match, and we were sitting there going, God, what even happened on NXT?
But AEW was no different.
But that's what I'm they were on par with each other this week.
I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is I thought the NXT main event was better than anything AEW did. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying NXT was fucking 15 stars and AEW was 2 stars. I get that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think that the main event for NXT was just a little bit better than anything AEW did.
I agree, but I looking at the shows as a whole. I don't know. In the end, like I said before, they end up in the same playing field for me. Nothing really beat the other one out of this world.
No. And next week, NXT, they're having both the men's and the women's championships being defended on NXT because it's their final show before the new year. And fucking Britt Baker can straight fuck up.
The way he was bouncing that, it looked like she was in your bed.
So Basement's actually streaming. I'm in the hotel, so it's we tried it with mine. So NXT, I mean, it was okay. I was a little bit more apt to watch it. I thought it was a better show, but not by a lot. But that's neither here nor there. So SmackDown Live happened. And the only thing that I want to talk about, and it's a point of contention for me today because people are fucking stupid on Twitter. Can somebody please fucking tell me what is so bad about somebody being yes, anybody being handcuffed to a goddamn ring post, and then oh my god, and then being, I don't know, embarrassed. I don't even really he didn't even, nothing happened because Roman Reigns came out before anything happened to Kofi Kingston. People saying that fucking WWE is racist. How is that racist? What, because somebody got handcuffed, or was it just because the black guy got handcuffed to the goddamn ring post? What if it was Dolph Ziggler was handcuffed to the ring post?
Roman
What if it
Reigns
was-
got
In
handcuffed.
the week before and put dog food on his head and humiliated me.
But Roman, again, well, people were upset by that because Roman Reigns, it could be considered a racist thing. What if Seth Rollins was fucking handcuffed to the ring post? Would that be fucking racist? Get the fuck out of here with the stupid shit and the fucking racism in WWE. WWE is not racist. They've been doing this shit for fucking 40 years. They've done it to white people. They've done it to black people. They've done it to Mexican people. They've done it to Japanese people. It happens to everybody. It's called fucking storytelling.
Choppy, your pee-pee.
Jesus Christ.
Well, like they fucking. The Undertaker literally hung Big Boss Man with a fucking noose in the middle of the Hell in a Cell. Nobody said anything about it back then.
Was that
That's because everybody wasn't a bunch of oversensitive pansies back then, Bobbit.
Exactly. And that's the problem. And I said, if you, I even told people today. I said we were, in a Twitter feed. I can't remember who put
It
out
was
the tweet. Nico Extra put up. And we were sitting there, and what your thoughts? I said, it's not racist. Why is it racist? Just because it's a black guy? Well, what if it was Shinsuke Nakamura? What if it was Dolph Ziggler? Fucking did this shit to Hulk Hogan years ago. They didn't put dog food on him, but they handcuffed him to a goddamn ring and beat the shit out of him. They whipped it.
They did. Shane.
Same thing. Why?
Just a few weeks ago, Shayna Baszler was handcuffed to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Like it's there's been so many people in WWE that have been handcuffed to, whether it's to a rope, to a pole, to another person, whatever. It's so ridiculous that the people are losing their shit now just simply because Kobe was black. Bottom line, if he didn't like it, if he had a problem with it, he wouldn't have done it.
Right.
And then you had people, now he's recognized. The people are like, now he's going to acknowledge how he really felt about losing the world title.
Oh.
Did you not listen to his fucking promo last night? He said exactly what I knew he was going to say. Yeah, I lost the title. Yeah, it sucked. But you know what? I didn't keep my head down. I actually moved on to the next thing.
But here's the thing. I lost the title, but I fucking held the title. Let's be fucking real for a second. Kofi Kingston, he's good. He's great in ring. I like him. But he is not a world champion. He just isn't,
Right.
man. There's very few people out there that are world champion material. And I could say the same thing. Seth Rollins' run was fucking cum-guzzling shit. Because he just wasn't in that place, storyline-wise and character-wise, to be a world champion. And Kofi
Right.
Kingston, they struck while the iron was hot, and they gave the guy the rub that he deserved for being such a good fucking employee.
Yep. And he even said, essentially he said that anyway. He essentially said that at least I was champion, and what have you done? Is essentially what his promo was. Yeah, I got beat. Yeah, I got beat in 9 seconds, but at least I held the title. What have you done?
But it's
that was essentially what his promo
people
was,
keep
which I
focusing
enjoyed.
on the fact that he lost it, not that he held it, and not realizing that him holding it is a much bigger feat than him ever losing it.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he lost it in 9 seconds by
Yeah, well,
jumping into Brock Lesnar.
Now, how many people lost it in 9 seconds to fucking Brock Lesnar? He's killed half the roster, so...
Yes. So the thing with Kofi Kingston last night, look, if you're gonna look at everything as and the Charlie Caruso fucking statement, are you kidding me? He said, I guess I need to learn Japanese. because she couldn't understand what the Kabuki Warriors were saying. And somebody, oh my God, it's Slender Man. So, and somebody literally tweeted at her and said, this is the most, well, didn't tweet her, but they tagged Vince McMahon and WWE. This is the most racist thing ever in WWE. I don't think that, oh my God, Keith Lee again. And he's covering me. It's the most racist thing in WWE ever. Look, shit happens. And by the way, Charlie Caruso actually said, what was it that she said? She said, it just means we need to get more cultured.
Yeah, she tweeted out and she was like, so being more cultured is racism now?
I guess.
Everything is racism.
Everybody has to learn fucking Spanish in school. I guess we're racist for having to learn fucking Spanish in school. Get the fuck out of here. That's the dumbest fucking statement of the day. That's dumbest tweet of the year right there. Fucking people. So dumb. So dumb. We'll get to the picks for TLC here in a few minutes. There's a couple more things that I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go.
The NWA had their event and talked about the Marty Scurll thing. NWA is bringing back the TV title, which is one of the people have been clamoring for this for years. And if you don't know what the TV title is, it's a television title, and it's defended every week at the end of the show, and they put a time limit on it. The time runs out. It's the only title that you can not win on a time limit. I don't even remember how it is. I'd have to read the rules on that, on how NWA used to do it. But they're bringing that title back. And some of the people that have held that title is Arn Anderson. I think Ric Flair might have held it. Tully Blanchard's held it. So yeah.
The title kind of looks garbage to me. Look at this.
But it's that's what the television title looked like way back in the day.
Well, not as the CBS.
I mean, just because it looked
ABC.
like that back then doesn't mean it's going to look like that now.
No, that's what it's going to be.
No, this is exactly it.
Seriously?
It's kind of disgusting looking, isn't it?
It's a 1980s title. The NWA World Heavyweight title is a 1980s title.
Okay, but it looks
Here's
like shit.
my question. Here's my question.
Yeah.
I understand that NWA, the whole thing with NWA is like that old school style wrestling. I get it. But don't they think that they need to update some of the things within the company in order to grow bigger? Because, I mean, you're talking about stuff that was popular in 1980s, and it's now almost 2020. I like the fact that they stay true to their old school style, but I feel like part of that company needs to grow and expand into this new time frame.
That doesn't mean that the title is not going to change. They're just reintroducing the title.
All I'm saying is the title looks kind of hideous. Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
like the red on the title with the
mean,
gold, it just doesn't look great.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is the most over title in NWA history. It is even more over than the NWA World Heavyweight title.
It just doesn't look good.
I think it's just a concept that's more over.
I don't like the red on the gold. It just I don't know. It looks kind of like I took a shit on a piece of paper and made here it is.
Hey, your shit. I'm not even gonna touch.
I like it. It's better than any other title I've seen.
No,
look at WWE.
The AEW Championship looks better than that, 100%.
Yeah, how like the AEW World Championship is like, whoa, like.
I will put it back up for your viewing pleasure.
That's not even me being an AEW fan. That's just like that title.
I'm gonna be blunt with you guys. The NWA World Heavyweight title looks better than the AEW title. I'm not gonna.
But look at this thing, man.
It's probably the best title I've seen.
You remember the ice cream, I think it was called the Rocket?
No.
Maybe it wasn't called the Riot. Like Yeah, you know what I'm
Rocket
talking about.
Pop that was
Yeah.
red, white,
Rocket
blue.
bomb or something.
Yeah,
Bomb rockets or something.
I mean, I like the golden shit. It's just the colors look garbage to me. Plus, CBS and ABC on the sides kind of make me want to shit my own pants.
But let's keep in mind. I might be wrong. They might actually reintroduce a different type.
Well, that's
So-
true. I don't know. It's not that one. I hope it's not that one.
question.
Mhm.
If I understand they're doing a weekly show on YouTube, I get that, but
Mhm.
if they're going to reintroduce the TV title, are they going to be announcing that they have a TV deal coming up?
Should be called the
Yeah.
YouTube title, right?
No, I mean, I'm not being sarcastic with this. I'm saying, is this their way of kind of saying, hey, like working into an announcement of we have a TV deal?
No, just no. That doesn't mean anything. Because if you look at the title, do you think they're going to be on ABC, NBC, or CBS?
I feel like they're not going to grow at all if they're not on TV.
They don't need to be on TV. They're on YouTube.
Like being the
Yeah,
elite, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, GP. Exactly.
Well, you know what? I'd rather watch that than being the elite.
Yeah, because it's actual wrestling. But I do think, like, I mean, if that's their niche, that's their niche. They're not in the same, like, tier as NXT, AEW, Raw, or SmackDown. But they're doing their own thing in the corner.
I definitely think that they have a lot of really, really good talent. I wish that they would update a little bit of
Yeah,
their concept of the company.
it seems extremely old school, which kind of alienates some of the fan base. It's like I look at them and I compare them in my mind, kind of to like what 205 Live did, where they went 100% in one direction and 0% in the other direction.
Well, for me, it's just like, you can keep the old school wrestling and all of that about the company while still bringing the company itself into this new age. And I don't know. I think that would benefit them.
I don't think they're going to be going to any other arenas than the one they're at. They're going to be in that's a studio. They've said it. It's a studio-based. Billy Corgan himself said it's studio-based show.
I think it's
You
more
know
about
what?
the like
Actually,
in-ring wrestling that
yeah.
I'm talking about than I guess the look is old school, but even the in-ring wrestling is like bruiser style, new age bruiser style, but they don't kind of.
I actually think that I think that when you have a wrestling business, and obviously NWA is not anything new, but when you have a smaller company like that and you have the shows in the same place every week, I think that's a smart move. I think that was something that AEW should have done initially, was have it in the same freaking place so that people could travel to them and they're not traveling all over the place. I don't know. I just think that traveling is detrimental to them at such an early stage. And so I agree with NWA having it in studio so their fans can actually come to them every week. It makes sense.
Well, it's like that place in Jacksonville where they're going on the 1st, that amphitheater where they had that Fire Fest. That would have been ideal for them.
Yeah, and they would have had a steady.
Well, even in Atlanta where they used to do the WCW.
In Atlanta, because Atlanta has a huge wrestling community.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking, like, I think something night that I was talking to somebody, but I said I don't understand why they just didn't make base in Jacksonville, because they would have had a steady of people every week.
Right, and that's where I was saying that amphitheater, that Daly's place would have been ideal.
But I feel like NWA is the type of company that just like they're so weird to me because they seem to be like niched in like a new age format. but everything that they're doing is so old school at the same time. It seems to be like I could go and I would think like, hey, do you have an NWA Power fucking VHS? Because I'll buy that shit. But like, their shows are aired on YouTube. It's just like it's a weird clashing of where they're actually performing and what they're actually doing.
Yeah. Right. So I don't mind NWA. It's wrestling. It's more wrestling centric, and they focus more on wrestling than they do. They do the promos. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but they do like their little 5-minute promos, and that's it. The last one that I seen, they didn't really have. They had like one match, and they did nothing but promote Into the Fire, which happened to me. Which I don't know who. So I'm assuming Nick Aldis retained the title tonight because Marty Scurll showed up at NWA and challenged Nick Aldis, apparently. So right now, Marty Scurll is not in AEW, not going to AEW.
Okay, so I might be completely wrong, but I think Marty Scurll is gonna have like a stint in NWA, and he's still gonna end up in AEW.
Well, I'm sure he will.
Well, and the thing is,
like when I say a stint, I mean like a small. He's gonna be there for like this angle.
He's a free agent, so technically he doesn't necessarily have to sign anything with anybody right now. He could do, because I know I believe he had a match the night before in ROH, so he could literally bounce around from ROH, AEW, NWA, New Japan. Like he could go pretty much wherever the hell he wants.
ROH is just like WWE.
Well, he had a match, unless maybe it was his last match.
I don't think it was like after his contract ended, but I guess it was like an extension of Goodwill or something.
Yes,
okay.
It was an extension of Goodwill. It wasn't anything to do with contract.
But I know as far as like NWA and AEW and New Japan, like they have. And we have like a thing where they'll work with each other. So maybe that's what NWA have matches in other companies as well for a little while until he decides where he wants to be. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Nick Aldis did win. He won the second and third fall. It was a 2 out of 3 fall match.
Right. So, okay. So there you go. I personally, and I said it, and I'll continue to say it, I know he probably will go to AEW, but I'm telling you right now, everybody's like, well, he has best friends in the Elite. Well, I'm sorry to say, but Nick Aldis is one of his best friends as well. Maybe he wants to help NWA get off their feet. So I don't know.
I just don't feel like he has the okay, I'm probably wrong because a lot of people on Twitter love this shit. I just don't feel like Marty Scurll has the star power to get anybody off their feet.
Well,
I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Just judging from everything I've seen.
I mean,
Twitter fucking meltdown tonight when people found out he showed up on NWA. Oh, why isn't he going to AEW? Because he doesn't.
Yeah, just.
Can anybody honestly sit here? He may go to AEW, but can we just sit here and say maybe, just fucking maybe, he doesn't want to go to AEW? Nobody thinks about these things. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going, but maybe he doesn't want to go. That's why he's in NWA. He wants to be in NWA.
That's definitely a good possibility, but like I think that like I agree with Basement where I think that he's going to have this stint in NWA kind of help them get back up on their feet, and I could honestly see him going back to New Japan.
That could be too. People forget about that. He had a nice run in New Japan. Shit, he was their junior. He was their junior heavyweight champion for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah, the Japanese fans absolutely love him.
I know they do.
I
Yeah,
personally don't
but
give a
I
shit
mean,
about the
you know-
guy. Like, to be honest, like I never enjoyed him.
I mean, he's there. I'm not gonna lie. Basement or Bob, what's so funny?
Nothing.
Jesus Christ, you're. What do you want to talk about? Corey Graves or the releases and the troubled guys?
Let's talk
Do the
about
releases first.
love.
You want to talk about the releases of love? Let's talk about the releases first. All right. So WWE released The Ascension, Luke Harper, and Sin Cara.
Not Sin Cara!
Sin Cara will probably go back to AAA.
God, he's so massive.
Yeah, right, did.
Whatever. Fine. He went back to AAA. I don't give a fuck about Sin Cara, so I don't care.
You know
Ascension?
what's going to be shitty though about that is the fact that AAA is affiliated with fucking AEW, so we're still going to see him on our TVs. I guarantee you.
Who cares? I could give a shit.
And he's been replaced by Humberto Carrillo as the next person, I guess, that'll be in
Yeah.
the party.
Somebody
you
on
could throw
Twitter-
anybody in his place. Who gives a fuck, man?
He'll be replaced by someone else wearing the Sin Cara mask, so Sin Cara will replace Sin Cara again.
But who cared about? I would love to like scour the earth and be like, "Are you a diehard fan of Sin Cara? Who? Sin Cara, man. He jumps off a trampoline and botches everything. Yeah, I love him.
Humberto Carrillo, somebody called him a vanilla midget. The guy's 6'2", 200 pounds. How's he a vanilla midget?
I don't know. Maybe the guy's 18 feet tall. First, you must climb up the beanstalk to talk to me.
Get the fuck out of here with your stupid shit. Marty Scurll's a vanilla midget. Because he's small. He's like, what, 5'10", 180, 185? Come on, man. Luke Harper, I could care less where he goes. I would
I
like
like
to.
Luke Harper. I feel like he always didn't have what it took.
Right.
But it's also he
I
was
think
constantly
that
put
he
in a
had a
bad
lot of-
place.
I think he had a lot of untapped potential that they didn't really allow him to
Like-
tap.
The
But
thing is,
that's-
like he has to have pretty much the look he has now. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm looking at because him without that beard looks like a fucking complete 100% lesbian. So like he's gotta kind of look that way. How are you gonna? You gotta sell that.
Yeah, we actually talked about this the other night, and I think a question is if Luke Harper showed up, would he be one of the guys that you would push? I would never push him. I would put him right where he is, with where he was with WWE. He needs to be in a faction.
No,
See,
I
that's
feel like
what
he's an upper
Austin's-
mid card guy to me personally.
See, Austin was thinking along the lines, you've got that, what's the guy with MJF now? Wardlow?
Yeah.
Roman
yeah.
Reigns.
That Brody would show up in AEW and be by Cody's side. So you'd have the guy that's looking over your shoulder type, because you know it's not going to be Darby Allin.
yeah,
But he
I-
looks like a
Oh,
rapist hillbilly, man.
I
But
actually
no, if
was
you,
really
you, take
hoping.
that, you take that away from him and clean cut him.
Oh
like,
no, you don't want to clean cut that.
No.
It's not good.
I-
It's
Don't
not
want him
good.
to look like backwoods hillbilly either.
It's not good.
Well,
I
Under
was
the fur is
actually-
not good.
I was
he's
really,
better.
really hoping that. Go ahead, JP.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think he's a better heel, and him being a backwoods hillbilly is the way to go with him.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I was actually really hoping that, and I know it could still happen. I don't, who the fuck knows, but I was hoping that Marty Scurll would show up and that he would do Villain Enterprises. And that's where we would see Luke Harper coming in, being like part of Villain Enterprises. Cause that just makes sense for his character. Cause he looks like a fucking villain. He looks like a psychotic villain.
I want him to team with Sonny Kiss.
It is what it is.
No, but like, okay, if they did Villain
Just having
Enterprise,
fake
it's just
knife
like
throws.
it's another fucking faction for a place that's filled already with factions that only has like 50 wrestlers. It's just too. I would like him to be part of a faction that already exists if they're gonna do it that way. But I don't want to see another. Like I don't even think they can pull off the factions that they have right now. Personally, they're doing an okay job, and I said this before. I love I like the Dark Order's promos, but I hate the fucking team.
Yeah.
And then you've got Brandy Rhodes in the back building some sort of, I don't know what the fuck she's building. And then you've got like the Elite, and then you've got the Inner Circle. Like they're fast tracking themselves to where WCW was, where everybody is part of a faction. And though NJPW can do it, they're not the same. It's just like it's not gonna work. I don't think on a week-to-week program of everybody's a faction, because it gets so old so fast.
Not only that, but like NJPW has such a big roster, and they're affiliated with Rev Pro and all of that. So like they have a big enough roster to where their factions are big enough that you're not constantly seeing the same guys being pinned against each other.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like they have so many different options as far as what they can do with different opponents. Whereas AEW, being a smaller company, they don't have that option right now.
But it kind of fucks them at the same time, because if you're gonna create like 5 or 6 different factions off of a 50-man roster, then there's only so many matches you can actually do, because you're not gonna have the people inside of a faction fight each other. So you've already eliminated so many potential matches, and AEW is already kind of like riding that line of like seeing fucking rubber matches and seeing the same women fight each other, stuff like that. They need to diversify first before they become faction based. It's just like everything happened too fast with them.
And I feel like the only way that, or the only reason why NJPW can get away with it, even despite their big roster, is because they have so many tournaments throughout the year that people from the same faction get pinned against each other through the tournament. You know, so it's more like that, and they focus more on the sport instead of the entertainment aspect of it. So it's a tournament, you know.
The thing is with like AEW, it's like, and this is where I'm gonna go back to like the t-shirt sales company. When it comes down to it, factions sell t-shirts, but also like you can't get and not give, or you know, like, there's always like a pull and there's always something that's going to not work out, and you cannot base a brand new company off of factions with a roster that doesn't support it. And like that is, I think, is one of the missteps they've done from the beginning. It hasn't hurt them yet, but unless these factions live for 6 months and then disperse, eventually they will become a problem. Right now we're looking at the infancy for a lot of the factions. They haven't even become what they will be, but once they become what they will be, you're looking at like the same show week in, week out. And also with the inability to push forward a storyline because you only have 4 pay-per-views a year, you're gonna have a lot of matches that just technically tread water.
Yep.
Well, going. Sorry, JP.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, going back to like the WWE releases and stuff. Like everybody's like they all want to see all these people go to AEW. What they don't, and I've seen this on Twitter. I don't remember who tweeted it out, and I completely agree. Is AEW cannot pick up every Tom, Dick, and Harry that WWE releases. You know, because like everybody was like, "Oh, Luke Harper needs to go to AEW."
No,
maybe he won't.
How about this? Luke Harper goes where Luke Harper wants to go.
Yeah, and you know, the bottom line is AEW, despite you know having the money to back them up right now, they cannot pick up every freaking Tom, Dick, and Harry that's released or that's doing good on the indies, because otherwise they're gonna get a bunch of being the same way that WWE is. They have to guys.
Yeah. So the other team that was released is the Ascension. Victor and Connor.
Hmm.
I'm okay.
I honestly didn't realize that they were still working for WWE.
I knew they were because they were talking about. You see them on Twitter every once in a while. They just not very vocal. So yeah, they got released as well. Again, another team. What it is. Where did they go? I don't know. How about we let them go where they would like to go, wherever they feel comfortable. How about that? If they want to go to AEW, let them go to AEW. If they want to go to NWA, let them go to NWA. A lot of people say that they should go to NWA. They want to go to New Japan, let them go to New Japan. Who cares? Why does it matter where these people go? It's where they choose.
It's fun to speculate when somebody gets released, but for me, it's not fun to speculate with fucking Ascension because I literally could care less.
Yeah. So there's two superstars that got in trouble this week. We haven't seen Bobby Roode on TV because he broke the wellness. Now, what he broke, we don't know. The wellness program policy. Now, it could be because he didn't show up he was late or whatever. I don't know what he did.
How does the policy work? Does anybody know? Because it's a 30-day suspension. And is it just like a step program where it's like 30 days you're suspended, then the next time 60 days, the next time 3 months, the next time you're out of the company?
But Paige was suspended one time for showing up late.
But is that wellness policy or is that something else?
Yeah, that's in their policy, I guess. If you show up late or don't show up
If you're late to testing after you've already tested positive once, you get suspended.
No.
Okay, well, that makes sense. But
So
Yeah, but this was Bobby Roode's first violation, so I can't really
also,
see
you
that.
look at Bobby Roode. He's 40 years old. He's got like 0% muscle fat. The guy looks like his muscles are bursting out of his skin. Like a fucking tanned leather asshole.
It could be like a Roman Reigns situation where Roman Reigns, he took a vitamin that he didn't realize had a banned substance in it.
Just looking at him, I'm gonna say no.
Oh, no. Primo,
fucking 40 years old, shredded, like, fucking primo asshole. How the fuck did that guy even fail anything? Because he's never succeeded.
Got suspended for his, I don't know if it was
also a
substance abuse or whatever he did. They don't know what happened. Now, Friday night, I don't know who watched the show, but Corey Graves or Dolph Ziggler said that he was suspended not suspended, he was injured. And people on Twitter again, he got suspended. We know that. But do you think WWE's going to make that? They're not going to put that out on. They're not going to do that to a WWE superstar. They're not going to put that out there that he fucking popped hot for fucking steroids. This isn't the fucking.
If I remember right, like when Roman Reigns got suspended, didn't they like actually suspend him for like, I don't know, it was like doing something.
They suspended him. It came out later that he
Raw
took
or something.
No, he took something that he didn't think was gonna pop on the scan that they. It's like some
he
part
didn't
of
know
what
it
he
had
was
a banned
taking
substance in it.
had a banned substance in it. But like Primo Cologne, really, unless these guys are gonna debut again, being like fucking super jacked Ultimate Warriors. What the fuck is this guy taking performance? I need to look good for the camera that's not seeing me.
Now, personally, I think that one might have been, no, weed wouldn't be a violation of the policy anymore because they took that off their violations.
They're saying it still.
What?
I heard it still was. That's what got, what's his name? Evan Bourne.
We're also talking about Evan Bourne was what, like 6 years ago or something? Like now in the state of Connecticut, where the headquarters is, the state of Connecticut, I believe, went to, I know that they have medical for sure, but I think that they were just full blown
The real question is, how are the Colognes still like employed? They don't do anything. They're never there. I don't give a fuck if you broke every wellness policy. It's like, who are you now, man? Like they don't use him. They don't use them in any way, shape, or form. So like I honestly expected them to be part of the releases, but then maybe he got like this wellness policy. Maybe he planned it. He's like, though they can't release me if I'm breaking the law.
This kid, I swear to God, she's right.
I don't know how treated are there.
Well, either way,
They were.
go ahead, Trek.
He's trying, but his.
No, I said so.
There's reports
ahead,
that they
Trek.
were trolls. Is what he was gonna say.
Reports that they were trolls. Who is trolls? I couldn't
They
hear
were that
anybody.
they were trying to get fired. That's why they were forced to.
Oh, they were trying to get fired.
By not
Who
being
re-
featured in anything. Like, okay, so let me figure this out. Where would the Colognes go where people would be like, oh my god, they're fucking incredible?
Here's the thing: they might be trying to get hired in order to go to AAA or something. Because I know that they have been working for their dad's business down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're trying to rebuild whatever
when
their
you're
the business
WWE.
like their father built or something like that. But their name is literally the assholes.
Well, his father was an asshole. So what else is new?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why do you always make comments?
You
Anyway,
get it personal with it.
so
Because he killed Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, he killed him. He actually took him in the back and slit his throat.
okay,
Wait, that's their father?
no,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
is
think
their
it's
father.
no, I think it was their.
Also, Sting is the Ultimate Warrior.
Shut up.
Fun fact.
That was
He was wearing the same face paint. Shut up.
I don't know.
To your graphics there, basement.
Oh god, no.
So yeah. So them two got suspended. They're suspended for 30 days. Primo Cologne will go back to catering when he gets back, and Bobby Roode will probably be thrown right back in with fucking Dolph Ziggler. Who cares? Doesn't fucking matter. The final thing is Corey Graves is back in the news again, but I'm going to defend him on this one. I defended him on the first one. I'm going to defend him on this one as well. Him and Kenta kind of got into it today. And Kenta tweeted back at him, said, "Who the fuck are you?"
I was laughing because I mean it was if you've seen Corey Graves' response to Kenta's tweet, like who the fuck are you? You could obviously tell it was a fucking joke between both of them.
Right. Well, them two are. But then somebody tweeted, like, I don't know. I didn't see it, but somebody tweeted at him, said, "I got you. You got it good, motherfucker." Or whatever. I don't know. But then he jumped on Twitter and said, "Enough is enough. You all need to get a fucking life." Essentially, is what he said. Whether you believe it or not, Kenta and I are really good friends, and this is a running joke between us. Shut the fuck up and find something else to do. And again, the fans, shut the fuck up, find something else to do. You all fucking troll these people, especially Seth Rollins and Corey Graves. It's getting fucking ridiculous. I have a friend, or a guy that he knows Seth Rollins personally. He went to school with him. He hates the fans. He hates them. Why? Because they are trolls and they're never fucking happy with fucking anything. And I don't fucking blame him one fucking bit. Because I feel the same fucking way. Yeah, I'm a fan. I hate myself. Because I'm a fan of wrestling, but I don't fucking go around trolling fucking superstars.
I hate myself for loving you.
So, Corey Graves, people need to leave these people alone. I mean, sure, they're on Twitter, but goddamn. If you can't, not everything is Corey Graves shitting on people. He can't have friends that he talks to. I mean, there are people that I see on Twitter that are like doing this with their friends and it's okay, but then a superstar does it to another superstar that they happen to like. They don't like Corey Graves, and they're like, oh, fuck you, Corey Graves. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know these people are probably sitting in the back laughing at you people that fucking tweeted these guys. It's like, look at that tweet. Did you see that? These dumb motherfuckers. I can see it. I can just see it. So, yeah, Corey Graves, I applaud you, man. Keep doing you. That's all I'm saying.
But I hate myself for loving you, though.
And I think like this. I think like the situation that went down between like Marl and Corey and this and Corey are a little different, but in the same sense, I don't think that the initial tweet that Corey did to Marl was meant like intended to hurt him at all. I don't think that anything that Corey Graves has ever tweeted out was intentionally meant to hurt anyone.
No. Actually,
So-
it was a tweet to somebody who said something.
Yeah.
And he responded with, he does have a Hall of Famer and a former world champion sitting next to him. That's all he tweeted. He wasn't shitting on Mauro Ronaldo at all. But everybody jumps down fucking and again, I am as sensitive when it comes to mental illness and mental health. Okay? Every time somebody says something about Mauro Ronaldo or whoever else has a mental issue or mental, whatever.
Mental health issue. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, you're an asshole.
Well, I think that like people have just pinned Corey Graves to be the bad guy. And it's gone this way, but it's gone this way ever since his news of his divorce broke. And if you remember, everybody was jumping down Corey Graves, calling him an adulterer, and Carmella just calling her all kinds of names and everything. And here, come to find out, when the truth came out, Corey Graves was already mid-divorce when him and Carmella got together. So people just need to back off of him a little bit and realize that you don't know what's, not just him, wrestlers in general, you don't know what is actually happening in their life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the truth.
I feel like Cody Graves was like walked that
Cody
line
Graves?
yeah, exactly. Shut up. He's walked that line for so long that like eventually something is going to hit you. Especially in this day and age, man, you're fucking playing with fire constantly. And eventually fire hit him, and then he became like this fucking, I don't know.
Holy shit.
How could it happen to me, type dude?
What?
Yeah.
I feel like Corey Graves kind of like got to this like place where he felt like he could walk the line and be untouchable, and then he fell victim to the rest of the fucking bullshit that everybody does, and then he became more of a guy that was like, I'm sorry about your sad, terrible lives, but you don't know the true story. It's like, well, hey man, you're on Twitter. Shut the fuck up. Like you go there. Oh my God, it's just like
Right.
he's not that. I don't blame him personally or anything, but like you go to a place where you know this is gonna happen, and then you like, oh my God, this happened.
Right.
Like, of course
Well,
it's gonna
and-
happen.
The bottom line is anybody these days that's on social media is opening themselves up for trolling. This is a large reason why a lot of wrestlers, like Juice Robinson, for instance, like he's not on any social media.
Well, how
You
many
can't find him
wrestlers are out
anywhere
there that
because
just like
of the trolls.
they just tweet like the most generic thing that can ever be like attacked against, and if it does, who cares? But like with Corey Graves, he's kind of like built out a niche with like social media, and I feel like eventually MJF is gonna face his problems.
Oh, he's doing it. He's facing them now. He gets it today. You see it. I see it. You're an asshole. And you want me to do about it?
Yeah, I was just on Basement last night with MJF. He's riding a fine line, and one of these days he's going to say something that's going to cross that fine line.
But it's also why he's so.
It's going to like create a shitstorm.
This is the thing that kills me, because in the past you could ride that fine line and never actually be at the mercy of a fucking witch hunt, and you'd be great. It would be fucking awesome. Everyone would love it. Nowadays, it's like you ride that line and you're great until you're the worst fucking human being alive.
Right.
Right. There's another person, since we're on the subject, Ryback. You all know, I know Gina.
Oh, fuck him.
No, well,
I don't really know what he said. First of all.
Okay, so he put out the tweet. It was about. I don't.
Oh, yeah, I do know, because I responded to it.
Right. He wasn't talking about clinical depression. He was talking about those people that sit on a couch and mope around all day. Those are the people that he's talking about.
I will say this. Sentiment of what he was trying to say, it's just Ryback really needs to learn how to word his shit to where it actually conveys what he's thinking.
I don't think it was bad. I really don't. I don't think anything that he said. If you read the tweet, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to talk about. Everybody reads into tweets just to read into tweets to find something to shit on people for. Is it because it was Ryback? Or was it a fact that somebody said the word depression?
I feel like it has more to do with, like, the fact of the matter is, I mean, when you start, nowadays you start speaking about anything that has to do with anything, you cannot appease the masses because they will twist.
No.
Like if I say something about depression, I'm saying something about depression in my own perspective. I'm not saying something about depression in somebody else's perspective, and people will take things a certain way, and other people won't. The problem is, like, is Ryback really the person to fucking speak on this anyway?
Well, and I will.
Do we know he's not though?
I will give him this. He did say there are certain exceptions. When I tweeted him back, I wasn't rude or anything like that. I'm just like, I basically just told him, I'm like, dude, like, that's not really how it works. Like, there's some fucking, there's chemical imbalances in your brain that doesn't exactly, it's not as easy as just saying, I'm not going to be depressed today.
He's not, those are the people he is not talking about. That's what I'm saying. He is actually talking about people that just are, it's raining outside, so they're depressed.
But I feel like this like that kind of statement, you kind of need to have more than a tweet to explain.
Yes,
because a lot of people are going to take it the wrong way. So, like, if you want to say that specific thing, then you need a bit more than 120 characters or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and I know I actually was talking to some people in that thread or whatever, and somebody shot back at me with something, and I told him, I'm like, listen, dude, like, unless you actually go through it, you don't know. And then he tweeted back at me, and turns out that, he's an ex-soldier with PTSD. So he's like, I do know, but he's like, I see what he's saying. And that kind of opened up my eyes a little bit more. Because I didn't go into the initial tweet back at him, like, angry or anything like that anyway. But it opened my eyes a little bit more to what he was actually trying to say. And, like, I apologize to the guy, obviously, but then, like, I had a really pleasant conversation with like a couple of different people throughout that entire thread. So something that was taken, but something that was taken so out of context initially was actually something, and I noticed that it was happening with a lot more people too. It was something that got people talking back and forth.
See, and that's what he is. And that's why I said I don't think the tweet was as bad as it was made out to be.
This is why I also think Ryback should be Times Person of the Year.
I don't know about that, because I even when I tweeted out And I said, people were just like, well, this isn't it. Well, what is it? We can't talk about depression. And again, I say this. He's not talking about those that have chemical imbalances or whatever. It's not those clinically diagnosed depression or manic depressive.
It's those people that are like, "Oh, my pencil broke. I'm depressed."
Yes.
It's the fake fucking depression people looking to get. Oh, well, I hope your day gets better type of fucking bullshit. It's like,
Right.
you know what?
So
You're doing a
everybody-
detriment to the actual depressed people.
In my tweet, and I tweeted, and I don't know, Gina, if you've seen it or not, but I tweeted, I said, everybody goes through some sort of depression. It doesn't matter what it is, but this is not the kind of depression he's talking about. Everybody, I don't care who you are. You could be the happiest person in the fucking world, and you can be depressed about something. Something could depress you. It's raining outside, so I'm depressed today.
I love how like the camera cut to the fucking fire alarm in the corner randomly while you were saying that.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up because that was and Gina knows what I'm talking about. It was an issue of contention. People shitting on Ryback. Look, Ryback didn't mean anything bad. If you read the tweet, like I go back and I read tweets twice before I respond to it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, see, and here's the thing that when it comes to anything mental health, I've noticed that there's still some people that are still caught in the stigma. You know, obviously there always will be, just like any other hot topic issue. However, the poll is starting to become imbalanced to the other side. Like, you want people to be able to openly talk about depression, but then when somebody openly talks about depression and it's not what you want to hear, you're jumping on them and you're going, how dare you? But they have the right to freedom of speech just like we do.
Well, like, I mean, a lot of like mental health, because it's like so hard to classify. A lot of people like just jump on it as a crutch to be like, oh, then we're ending this conversation.
Yep. And it's exactly. I just wanted to bring that up because I know that was something that happened on Twitter.
Remember
today.
when he
Anybody
fucking
else?
clotheslined that big bitch into a pool?
Right? Anybody else want to add to the conversation that we were having just now?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Ryback, but I see what you're saying. I mean, like, it's just, he comes off as kind of a jerk sometimes.
Ryback 2020.
Who cares?
Oh, God, no.
Yes. Please, God,
Who
yes.
cares if he comes off as a jerk? Everybody, I come off as a jerk. But am I in real life?
Yeah,
Everybody,
I think so.
everybody here with me.
It was made for me to go, yes.
Am I really that of a jerk though? No.
No.
I'm not. So, yeah. So, TLC is in about, what, 14 hours, I think?
I hope Santa
Think
Claus
so.
dies at the show.
He might. You never know. So we're going to go through our picks for that. And right now there's only 7 matches for the card.
There's 7 matches?
Yep. That's all they have.
I'm surprised they even have 7.
And one of them isn't set yet. It's a to be determined.
Our show Monday night, which is going to include the 23rd show, which will be pre-recorded for Raw. So we're going to get the actual live show Monday after TLC, but then they're going to be doing the recording for the 23rd, which is Christmas week. So there's
What?
Whoever's in that stadium is gonna want to die. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
Mhm.
Have you ever wanted
so-
7 hours of Raw? You got it.
Well,
It's
you're
like
going to get it Monday. You're going to get your money worth.
the Raw during Christmas or fucking whatever the fucking day is. It's just gonna be a bunch of people hanging in the stands.
Oh my God.
We got a packed arena here. A lot of people wearing Nike feet.
When did they start showing those pictures of the arena?
So anyway, so the card is as follows, and The Viking Raiders are taking on to be determined. They don't have a set opponent yet.
I'm going with a squash match, probably. Or who cares? Viking Raiders win, is all I'm gonna say. I don't think TBD has a chance this night.
You don't think they would put him against the AOP that night?
They might.
It's too fast, too furious.
I mean, they might, but I don't know. I know Seth Rollins.
Gorilla Strong says Street Profits in the chat.
Street Profits.
Well, they're also doing a fucking weekly news show that, I'm sorry, sucks complete donkey dick.
Yes, that segment sucked. I didn't even want to talk about it.
In further news, and then you have the fucking Montez Ford doing like slapstick comedy in the corner. He's fucking Jim Carrey over there.
Well, what it was an SNL fucking segment. That's all it was. And
With
that's
people that
essentially
aren't
what
as
they
good as
did.
SNL fucking comedians.
So, Gina, who you picking? You gonna
go with the Montez Ford?
Viking Raiders, I guess. No, let's go with to be determined. I don't know. We're gonna go with them.
Oh, it's racist.
I'm gonna go with the Viking Raiders.
But you never know, man. TBD. The big dick
Right.
squad.
Ronnie?
But it seeing as how it's a pay-per-view, I don't see it necessarily being really a like unknown people. So that's why I want TBD.
It's gonna be the colon. Because the
Ronnie?
other one's sick from
I'll just go with
steroids.
Viking Raiders.
Start sure to win because you just stretch it out no matter what.
You need to calm down.
You need to give her an outsider's edge
Stop it.
into the table.
It's
It's TLC time, baby.
Go with Viking Raiders.
Bobbitt?
I'm gonna go with the Viking Raiders.
Okay. And Heather.
Viking Raiders.
I'm the only TBD. Really?
TBD.
Stop it.
Yes, Gina, you are the only TBD.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
The next match, Rusev versus Bobby Lashley with Lana.
Is there a
Rusev Day.
stipulation or something? Or they just, what happens here?
It's a tables match.
It's a tables match. And if I remember right, who put who through table?
Rusev put Lashley Monday night through the
Put
table.
Lashley through a table,
I'm going to go with Lashley and his minus eyebrows.
which means the feud's going to extend because Rusev wants to beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley. So they're going to do that until the river runs dry on that. I'm just letting you know. Gina?
Fuck it. I'm gonna go Rusev Day.
Well, yeah, I think Gina's going to go 0-7. I'm
I'm
going.
okay with that. I don't care.
I'm actually going to go with Gina on this one. I hope, hopefully the feud ends. If it doesn't end, it's going to extend. If Lashley wins, it's going to keep going. Ronnie?
I'm going Rusev.
Trey?
I'm going Rusev.
Bobbitt?
The almighty Bobby Lashley.
The almighty ass.
Heather?
If everybody forgets Lana's gonna be out there, she's gonna interfere and fuck everything up, so Lashley's gonna win.
It is what it is.
I like Lana's gonna try to interfere and she's gonna get put through a table.
Yeah, I
Like
also agree.
inadvertently,
And
she's
then-
gonna end up going through the middle.
And then Lashley will be like, surprise!
Oh my
It's my
God.
face because I have no eyebrows. And through a table.
Or
The next match.
do where Lana gets where she inadvertently gets put through a table. Let's say it's like what's happened to Stephanie McMahon with Triple H.
Yes.
And then, Rusev is the one that's like, oh my God, Lana, blah, blah, blah. And that costs Rusev the match.
Or she
because
goes
Bobby
through a
Lashley
table,
could just put him through a table.
and they just Eiffel Tower
And
her
they're
in the
gonna,
middle of the ring.
Lana and Rusev are going to rekindle their relationship.
I
can see
hope
this
this
shit.
match
It's so
ends.
opera.
I hope this match ends
soap
with Rusev and fucking Bobby Lashley just fucking shoving each other's dicks in each other's ass.
I hope Liv Morgan comes out and becomes Rusev's new love.
That could be.
That's
That's not gonna happen. I don't think Liv Morgan is going to be there until Royal Rumble.
He gave you 2 orders, dog. What kind of food did you order? My question.
Order anything.
No, Gorilla Strong
they-
got
Gorilla-
Uber Eats, and they gave him 2 orders of food.
No. Whatever.
He probably
Enjoy.
just took his fucking pants down. It's like, here's your meal.
The next match, the Kabuki Warriors versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for the tag team titles. Gina?
Ugh.
Oh god, I have
Oh,
a
God.
bad feeling about this one.
It's going to be Becky and Charlotte.
Yep. Barlet. Or Sharky?
I agree.
I don't want it to be because, like, I feel like the Kabuki Warriors finally hit their groove.
But
But-
they've been eating shit on regular television, shoveling it
Yeah.
down their holes.
They have been buried, essentially. The last 2 weeks, they have made the Kabuki Warriors look bad. How in the fuck is it a 2-on-1 match and the match lasts 20 fucking minutes? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that
Should've
match. Fuck.
Both of them should have been squash matches. I don't fucking care who it is.
Becky Lynch went from being the New Age Stone Cold to being dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. Ronnie, who do you got?
Becky and Charlotte.
Trek?
Yeah, it's gonna be Charlotte and Becky winning.
Which tells me that Charlotte is going to take the title off of Becky.
Ooh.
They're going to start that feud. Watch. Basement?
But I have.
What didn't I say?
No. I didn't.
No, I said Charlotte and Becky.
Do you guys think that this is going to end up leading to the match with the 4 horsemen women facing each other? Because if Becky and Charlotte win the tag titles, and then let's say at, I don't know, Royal Rumble, Sasha and Bailey want to try to take those tag titles,
hmm
And then
like 2 and 2 on each other with the
Okay.
4 horsewomen.
I don't think, if you're going to include Ronda Rousey, I don't know if she's coming back.
the thing is,
No, I'm talking about the 4 horsewomen of NXT.
if
Like
Asuka and
Sasha
Kairi
Bailey
Sane,
versus Charlotte and
I
sorry.
fuck her.
if Asuka and Kairi
don't
Sane
fuck-
lose, like they're dead in the water.
They are.
So
Fuck.
I almost want them to win. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch my pick. I'm gonna go with Asuka and Kairi Sane. Because what the fuck do you do with them otherwise? I think Charlotte or Becky will force the other one to lose that match, and they're gonna go on to fight each other.
Either that or like Asuka's gonna spit her shit. Let's say she's spitting it at Charlotte. Charlotte's gonna duck and it's gonna hit Becky.
And then that's, I guess, the build.
They're gonna turn on each other.
Bobbitt?
I've been
Coming for a long time to Asian women.
I've been cut this all. Unfortunately, I gotta go Becky Charlotte on this one.
The
I
toast,
hope I'm wrong.
the toaster
Holy
has
fuck!
spoken.
Mark it down on the calendar. Bobbitt just chose against Asian women.
Well, it's because you know where this is going. It's fucking Becky and Charlotte. I mean,
But the thing is, they don't need the tag championships to tell that storyline.
No, they don't, but they're going to do it.
I have a question. I have a
You
real
wrong,
quick question
girl.
for you guys.
You
JP, I
wrong.
know you're trying to get through this list, but was I cutting somebody off?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, continue.
No, I was just gonna ask. CM Punk mentioned that WWE needs to focus on other people other than the 4 horsewomen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys completely agree with that? Like, do you think that they're getting too much exposure?
I agree with it 100%, but do you think they're going to? No.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not going to happen.
No.
No. You
Like, the
agree
thing
with
is,
it?
like, the story can be told in that match to propel Becky and Charlotte anyway without them winning the championships. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going with
I
Kabuki's.
do agree with you, Basement, but watch. That's what they're going to do.
I've been wrong 90% of the time, so I'm not going to doubt you.
Next match, which might be the match of the night, Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy.
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
Gina, who you
I
got?
hate this match.
Fuck. Go to somebody else. I have to think.
Oh my god.
No, come on,
It's
Brock
easy.
Mass. Brock Mass all over
Is
you.
not fucking losing.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Aleister Black. But fuck, is this gonna be a good
Wait.
match?
Butt fucked.
It's going to be a good match, but Aleister Black's not losing. Ronnie?
Taking Alistair.
I unfortunately think this match is going to be shorter than it should be, and Aleister Black will win.
I agree. I mean, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be 20-minute fucking
Nah,
bar.
it'll be like an 8-minute match.
Yep. Trek?
Well, you know, they also put Ricochet versus Cedric Alexander on main event, so. Sorry, Trek.
Trek?
All right. Yeah, Aleister Black wins.
Hobbit?
Oh god. Toast is
You
ready.
You need to quit drinking that shit. Heather?
Mr. Black.
The next match. Not the Fiend, just Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. And it's not, I don't think it's for a title.
No, it's non-title.
Alright. Bray Wyatt's gonna win.
Gina?
I actually think that they're gonna have Bray Wyatt lose because he doesn't have, quote unquote, he doesn't have the Fiend with him.
What?
I think that's what's going to happen. The lights are going to go out and the Fiend's going to appear at some point.
Either that or they said
What?
the Fiend's still with Daniel Bryan, so either that or the Fiend is going to drag out Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan's actually going to be paired with the Fiend, which is going to reignite that feud between Miz and Daniel Bryan.
I don't want to see that.
I feel like he's just gonna, like, whatever happens is gonna be like fucking a shit show.
I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but I don't want to see it.
Or it could work the opposite, where the Fiend shows up and then Daniel Bryan comes out as the yes
Guess
movement.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for me,
And costing great.
it's going to be Bray Wyatt because it's non-title.
It's great.
Yeah, I would love to see Bray Wyatt enter with fucking the Miz's wife and the kids.
Oh God.
So, Ronnie, who you're going with Bray Wyatt?
I'm going with Bray.
Trek?
I'm going with Bray because Miz gets disqualified and just goes apeshit and beats the crap out of him, and then the Fiend shows up.
How is the Fiend going to show up if Bray Wyatt's in the ring?
I mean, unless
The
it goes under the
lights
ring.
They're going
The
to
lights go out,
transform.
and they come back on he's in the ring.
Say it again, Trek. You cut out.
The lights go out, he comes back, they come back on, he's in the ring.
Think about that for a minute. How long are the lights going to go off for? He's going to have to change into clothes, man.
No, he's still gonna be there.
Then you
He could put the mask on.
He could be wearing tearaway clothes too, on top
well,
of like
it's-
the Fiend pants.
he's got the sweater thing on, they could be tearaway.
You guys are reaching.
I mean, I feel like this
You-
match might not even be a
you have
match.
to-
Just
You
saying.
legitimately you have to reach with WWE because I always whenever I'm trying to pick things, I always imagine a soap opera and then imagine all the dramatic shit that happens on a soap opera and then compare that to
The
WWE.
reason I'm saying you're reaching is because, think about this.
No.
Yes, it might be tearaway clothes, but he has to put the mask on. That man, and in the dark. Keep in mind, the lights are going to be out for 5 minutes. I don't see that happening. That's what I mean.
I
see
honestly
that
feel
happening
like this
either,
might
but-
not even be a match.
It could
It
not
might
be.
just be a 15-minute segment that they do.
Yep, that could be too. Bobbit?
I'm gonna go Miz.
Thank you, Bobbit.
Or high?
I'm actually gonna go with this match not even existing.
I mean,
An NA, not applicable.
well, you can pick Bray, and if it happens that it's not a match, it just you can't lose in this match, really.
Alright.
I feel what's going to end up happening is we're going to see the re-debut of Daniel Bryan, some form or another. Like Daniel Bryan is going to come out and
I think they're saving that for
Bro.
Royal Rumble.
I don't know.
I don't, well, only time will tell. I've been wrong pretty much every time I say something, so it doesn't matter.
The next match is the New Day versus the Revival. Gina?
I'm gonna go with Trip Queen.
Huh?
Yeah,
Trip Queen Revival.
Going with the Revival?
Trip Queen.
Yeah, he tripped last night coming
Wait,
out on SmackDown.
no.
Fucking
He actually stopped laughing when he did it, too.
yeah,
He looked-
yeah. I see the
He looked at-
things.
He fell, turned, and went, Scott, I fell.
and he did was fucking hilarious. I'm going to go with the New Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that when
Ronnie?
he fell though, that really wasn't his fault because they had that lip there. I'm like, why the fuck would you put that lip right there?
Gina, he tripped over the fucking thing.
Yeah.
He knew
Yeah,
it
he
was
tripped
there.
out, like when where they come out.
And brackets for the entrance.
Yeah, he tripped over one of the
Yeah.
brackets.
Yeah, he was coming out backwards, so that was his first fucking mistake.
There you go.
There you go. And it was in the dark. Ronnie,
Right?
I'm going New Day.
I think New Day are going to be champs for a while. I think they're going to be champs until the Usos come back.
Uso.
Correct.
New Day.
You pretty puppy.
I don't know how long Xavier Woods is out for. Basement?
It'll be out till after WrestleMania, I heard.
I'm going with TBD. No, I'm definitely going with the New Day.
Bobbit?
I'm gonna go New Day.
Okay. Heather?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the New Day and the continuation of the fucking rivalry.
Rivalry? Yeah, the feud's not good. It's the fucking tag team division on fucking WWE. It's
So
trash.
fucking good, it's good shit. I jerk off to it every night.
And what I think will probably be the main event is Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin.
Yeah, well, that sounds fucking great. I'd rather
Gina?
eat a fucking pile of circumcised
Roman
cocks.
Reigns versus Baron Corbin. Roman Reigns.
There's talk that he is also winning the Royal Rumble. Ronnie?
I'm going Roman.
Roman Reigns is getting that same push that he got 5 years ago. Correct?
Roman Reigns.
How much you want to bet he puts dog food on fucking Baron Corbin?
Probably. Well,
That would be a side bet.
I'm
Basement?
telling you right now, if he does that in Minneapolis, that crowd is gonna lose their shit because Minneapolis don't play that shit.
They don't
Well,
like dog
probably
food.
bring cat food out and make it look like he's a
They really
He's
don't.
just gonna bend over and take a furious shit in his face. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. Obviously, fuck this.
Bob?
Well, now if he handcuffs him, would it be considered racist?
Yes.
See, that's my question. Bobbit?
I'm gonna go with my boy.
I'm transforming.
Bobby. It's
No.
not you. It's your internet that you were transforming. So it was just like. It
I'm gonna.
was really funny. It was really funny, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
You've
You're
been
good, man.
you've been a toaster since the beginning, man. You know.
It's funny.
All right, so that is everybody. There'll probably be matches added, so you guys be paying attention to the chat just because.
Well,
Rub those
you got
ears.
Bailey and Lacey.
Why are you rubbing those ears
No.
that way?
No, I don't have Bailey and Lacey unless they just added it because when I looked before we started the show, that was it.
No, I pulled up the CBS card. And Bailey and Lacey's on there.
Yeah.
You rubbing those ears.
So did I. So they just added it. So hold on a second. Where in the fuck is my phone? Wendy, I'm beat your ass. She's got your camera on.
Yeah, it's easy enough to turn my camera.
I'm gonna Wendy figuring out.
It's for the title.
Oh. What title are we talking about now?
No, what?
All right, we'll add it, but I'd like to look at the WWE card and see what they say. All right, so Lacey or Bailey?
I'm going Lacey.
Lacey.
Is it for the title?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bailey.
Bailey's now. It's gonna be a disqualification.
I'm gonna see randomly. I'm gonna see Heather in the background perform a Canadian Destroyer to Wendy.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Lacey, but it's gonna be DQ. Gina? I'm sorry?
Lacey.
You think she's winning the title?
winning or no? Do you think?
She is not happy.
She does not agree.
So do you think Lacey's winning the title or no?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a reach.
Oh,
Round.
this is higher prediction card, so.
Yeah.
TBD over
I
here.
think you.
I can tell you exactly how much I give a shit about what happens on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, the pay per view kind of is it's just a floppy dick.
Ronnie,
They
do you,
needed a meningitis with this one, I'm telling you.
Well, they pretty much had it with the way it's booked.
Ronnie, do you think she's winning?
I'm going Lacey to win the title.
Oh boy, that's you're gonna
I
take
think that she's going to win that title because of, everything that they're doing, that show that she's doing with the troops and stuff.
They're not doing
It's
it
good
this year.
publicity for WWE.
Anything is possible when you believe.
Trek.
Lacey wins by DQ because Sasha's going to interfere.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going with.
Exactly what's gonna happen. Basement. Agree.
Yeah.
Bobbit.
Bailey's winning.
You mean she's winning, or did Lacey's winning and Bailey retains?
Lacey's winning, but Bailey's going to retain.
So Lacey wins by DQ. Other?
Yeah, the Lacey Bailey match. I'm gonna be
Anyway, we're gonna put it down just in case, because you know how they add shit.
Bailey's keeping it for a little while longer.
So, but do you think Lacey is going to win by DQ, or do you think Bailey's gonna win clean?
Like,
You think Bailey's gonna win clean? The only
possible.
person that thinks Bailey's gonna win, it's possible.
it's possible
Well, I
because of
wouldn't-
WWE's booking, not because of actual talent in the ring.
Calm down. I wasn't disagreeing with you.
Attack!
Everybody's starting
These two are funny.
Calm down!
No shit.
No. She was
Why
just
did you
saying
just-
a piece.
You reminded me of a character on the fucking Sesame Street.
No, actually, it reminded me of a character on fucking Monty Python's Holy Grail. I could see Bailey winning clean, but by fuck finish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The ref doesn't see it.
I just think with everything that's been going on with Lacey, like Gina said, but also with the way that the interaction was with, she went after Sasha, she's going after Bailey, she was attacked by Bailey, she was attacked by Sasha.
I mean, Lacey is getting a push. I get it. But just because she's getting a push, I don't see them putting the title on her, not against Bailey at this pay-per-view. I could see them doing something. It's going to be Sasha and Bailey for the title, probably at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. Something. They're going to do something, and it's going to be 4 horsewomen based, where they're all fighting for the title. They're going to be about them, because that's what WWE does. That's what I see. I don't see them taking the title off of Bailey, at least until, and then they're just gonna put it right on fucking Sasha Banks. She'll hold it for a week, and then Lacey Evans will win it. I'm being a smart ass, I don't know, but that's just what I see happening. I see the 4 horsewomen. Oh my God.
He needs to be on his shoulder. He's like the little person on his shoulder.
Oh my God.
Anyway, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about real quick? Is there anything you want to vent about?
No.
Open forum.
I was going to say, just let Wendy vent for the next 15 minutes.
She's vented it today. I did not do this. Anything going on Impact? I know we talked about it before the show. Anything happening on
like I said, other than just the build for Hard to Kill, which is coming up in January.
Mm-hmm.
This week they had Ken Shamrock went against Sami Callihan. Tessa picked Ken Shamrock to go against Sami. She then went against Madman Fulton, which is who Sami picked for her to go against. But this week she's actually going to go against another female. She's going against Jordan Grace. So they've got her back, but she's still on the Hard to Kill pay-per-view against Sami.
Yep, and I could care less about Tessa Blanchard. I'm sorry.
I'm not
She
really a
doesn't
fan
work.
either, to be honest.
Yeah, and I actually I did re-look at everything up, and her contract is good till the summer of 2020. I have a feeling they may put it on her.
Oh my God, not this fucking guy. Fuck Marco Stunt. I hope he falls off the cliff.
I like Marco.
Life size.
He's fun size.
Marco James Ross.
He can fall off a cliff. Good God.
New Japan on the I believe it's the 19th. They start their road to Wrestle Kingdom.
I was gonna ask, is there anything big happening at all besides the road to Wrestle Kingdom?
They just got done with tag leagues, and that was actually really, really good little mini tournament. Otherwise, it's just the road to Wrestle Kingdom until January 4th and 5th when it's actual Wrestle Kingdom, and there's a really good card for both nights. So
it's mediocre. I'm just gonna be honest.
it's good. It's good.
No, it's not. It's mediocre. But anyway,
And to the girl or the guy that always says everything's mediocre.
I'm talking it's mediocre. The card isn't as good. The only thing I care about on Wrestle Kingdom that I have seen is the championship matches. That's it. I said that last week.
JP, how many of the previous pay-per-views have you actually watched?
None of them.
Wrestle Kingdom
None of them.
looks pretty good.
But the build leading into Wrestle Kingdom has been insanely good. So
That's what you deserve.
I don't. I just don't. Some of the matches just don't appeal to me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree.
The only matches that appeal to me are the Intercontinental title match and the world title. Really, I don't even care about the Lance Archer John Moxley thing.
Moxley lost a little bit of steam for me.
Say it
Gonna
again.
end up with it lost a little bit of steam for me because I think it's going to end up with Moxley winning that first night, and then Juice is going to take it the second night.
Next night, yeah. So it's just because I can see it happening. That's why I don't care for it.
Then again, I don't.
Yeah.
Archer's been booked. He has been booked to be unstoppable as of late. So I don't know if they're going to take it off of Archer because he's literally been an unstoppable force
But it's
like
John
the past
fucking
6
Moxley.
months.
But it's
Yeah, but John Moxley isn't part of New Japan. So do you really think that they're going to take one of their number one title holders and make them look a fool to somebody that's not a part of New Japan?
Well, he wasn't part of New Japan before when he held the U.S. title.
Right, but like Juice Robinson, I mean, there's a huge difference. I love Juice, but there's a huge difference between Juice Robinson and Lance Archer. And the way that they've been building Lance Archer is he's literally unstoppable.
Okay.
Fine, get down then, but don't start crying.
Jeez. So that being said, is there anything? Are you done? Is there anything else that anybody? Oh my God, there's Ray fucking Mysterio.
Well, it looks definitely like that. There's no tribute to the troops this year.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there hasn't been like a realistic like war angle for the USA. So like the tribute to the troops, though it should still be a thing. It's just like,
Oh, the tribute to the troops. I could give two fucking shits if they show it on TV. Why can't something just be for the troops? It doesn't need to be showed on TV. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, I feel like the tribute to the troops is just like they're cashing in the fact that like there's a war happening, and when it doesn't happen, it's like, I mean, the tribute to the people that work for.
Actually, they did it at Paris Island. I think they did it. Tribute to the troops. I'm just thinking. I'm not talking to you. Yeah.
And don't look at me when you're.
I can't.
I'm just thinking, staring into her eyes. I'm just thinking.
Anyway.
Let me look into your eyes when I think and talk. Yeah, you're not talking to me. All right. Okay, cool.
So my feeling on it is it doesn't need to be on TV. Because they don't build to anything. It doesn't do anything for any of the storylines that they're building.
Well, and not only that, but the past few years, like ever since they stopped going overseas for tribute to the troops, it kind of, don't get me wrong, you guys know this, I have the utmost respect for our soldiers, and I applaud WWE for doing this, but as far as being shown on television, it lost some of its steam when, how can I put this? When they're not actually over there in the battlefield, it loses some of its luster, if that makes sense. Because it gives it more of a personal touch when they're actually over in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever with the troops versus being in a hangar somewhere.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not judging based on what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. But even I didn't care for them ever being on TV because, again, they don't build to anything. They don't. So why put it on TV? Chuck, I know you wanted to. You go ahead, say what you were going to say.
Well, it's a thing. I was talking to Connor about this earlier. It's just that we're shocked because they taped it, they did everything for it, and now it's just stuck. It's like that. It's not like it's going away. They said that they have plans to bring it back next year. So I don't know why do all that if you're gonna tape it and stuff and not do anything with it.
Because WWE does whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked because.
They might have taped it because, for all we know, they might give out like free copies of the DVD to like the people that were in attendance or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with what Gina just said. I wholeheartedly. I don't think it needs to be televised. I'm just being straight up honest with you. Whether or not they recorded shit, they always record shit. It don't matter. WWE records live shows. Do they televise them? No. So why is this any different? That's all I'm saying.
Because USA is usually the ones who make that call because it gets them over 1 million viewers for a WWE event and it gets them good PR. So I can't imagine USA saying no.
But maybe WWE
maybe-
said no.
Well, maybe also they might have seen the decline in the ratings the past few years, and now that USA has NXT, they may have not thought that they needed it.
Can agree with that. NXT, it's Christmas Day. Nobody's going to be home watching wrestling anyway. Well, they might be, but it's not going to get the views that it normally does. The viewership goes down during the holidays for some reason. I wonder why. Because people are doing other things.
Ouch.
It is
Yeah,
what it is.
people are too busy.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, wrestling viewership is on the decline because people would rather do something else. And like Basement said, and I agree with him 100%, you don't have to watch the show live. You can record it, come back and watch it. Makes sense to me. It is what it is. I just don't. I never liked the tribute to the troops anyway because it didn't do anything. It really didn't. I hate to say that, but it never really did anything for me.
Yeah, I was like it because it was just to feel good. Like that.
And that's fine. And I that's great. I just never cared for it.
There was a segment like they do with like Thanksgiving or with Santa Claus and bullshit like that. It was just like another way to be like, we're pro-America. Here we are shaking hands with the troops.
Right? Right? Well, people will tell you that they're pro-Saudi Arabia. They're not pro-America. Whatever. Who cares?
got the
But
money?
that being said, and Trek, I'm not saying not shitting on you or anything. I get it, but I think USA, yeah, they probably could say, but they're probably, like Heather said, their viewership is on the decline. USA isn't one of the top. It used to be one of the top cable channels in all of TV, but nobody watches USA anymore because they put nothing but reruns on there.
Right. No, I know what you mean. I agree.
The only real live television show or weekly television show that they do is Monday Night Raw and NXT. They do Temptation Island, but
Nobody's
that's
watching
pretty much.
Christy Knows
Well,
Best.
I mean-
It's a good show.
No, look, I know, but it's a
I
weekly
actually
episode.
really like Kristen.
Yeah,
but I
wasn't
mean,
he like
USA
didn't
back
he
in
like
the
fucking
day, it
prostitute
was
his
like
daughter?
No.
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 So what
but
happened with him?
USA back in the day, they used to be like they would have movie marathons and
They don't
you
do
know
that.
really live shows so much. It was just that they did a lot more with like newer versions of TV
Right.
shows
I'm
and
almost 100% sure he prostituted his daughter.
No.
he did not. He was in trouble for like tax evasion or some shit like that.
It got all
Yeah.
cleared up after tax evasion.
His daughter did beauty pageants. That's probably why you're thinking he prostitutes her out. Somebody probably said that he prostitutes his daughter out because he sends her to
No,
beauty
because like him and his wife are actually like
His wife,
people
quotation
for the
marks.
pageants.
The guy's been sucking dick since he was 6 years old. Christy Blows Best was his name on the fucking the fucking green.
I think the show is funny. I actually laugh at it.
I love that show. Grandma's the best one.
I've never seen it, but I've
Grandma-
seen like the promotions and like how he's not gay is like spectacular to me. Because like he acts 100% gay.
Oh, of course he does.
So he's 100% gay? He's 100% gay, man?
I said, of course he does. I didn't say he is.
Oh, fuck, man. Guy looks like he sucks dick for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
He
I
might.
don't
I don't know. But so we're not getting tribute to the troops. Truck is sad about that. We've established that.
I'm also sad with Trek.
Is there anything else out there that anybody'd like to talk about real quick before we get out of here? I know Heather.
Fucking what's his face married his girlfriend.
I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. Oh, Andrew Garza proposed to his fucking girlfriend on
Which
NXT.
makes no sense for his character coming out getting fucking. Hey,
But
every
it
girl
was a
kiss
really
me.
sweet moment.
Yeah,
It was a
you
really
know what?
sweet
The last
moment,
sweet
and
moment I
his
saw like that was
fiancé is-
divorce.
His fiance was holy.
I don't know,
shit.
man. His fiance kind of seemed like a bit like fighting the battle against anorexia.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna say this: it doesn't. Yes, it was a beautiful moment. Yes, it was whatever.
It wasn't that
But
beautiful.
it
I'm not gonna lie.
ruined his character, in my opinion. And I said that.
And I feel like they hot shotted the title to him in order for him to be able to do that and
Right.
have that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the moment happened, nobody knew who she was. She came in like Skeletor, and he was like, "I know I come out here and get kissed by random women every night, but here I am. Will you be mine?"
Will you be my neighbor? But no, I get what you're saying. I don't really care for Angel Garza in the first place. I don't know how I feel about Angel Garza being the champion because
I feel like he's solid, but like this segment just went in a weird direction for me.
okay, so my thing is with him winning the title here, it doesn't fit the storyline. Because they're talking about his family, and then he brings his girlfriend and proposes. They might as well just make them.
Why did he
tags.
walk out to the ring getting kissed by random women? It's like, you know what? I've changed my ways in 10 seconds after I won the title. You are mine and I am yours. Let me put your bones in a bag and walk home.
I mean, I get it. He's playing a character that was real life, but that was not the time to do it. Sorry.
Well, regardless
should
of
have showed-
the match
they
itself
showed
was the match itself was fucking great.
It was a pretty
It
good
was-
match.
it was-
Yeah,
It was a good match. Really, really good match. But then again, did you really expect anything less from those guys? Because they're both phenomenal wrestlers. So
I did
Yeah.
expect less. And I got more, so kudos for them.
I think Leo Rush should have stayed champion. That's all I'm gonna say. I right now I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not gonna shit on Angel Garza because he's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't have put the title on him here. I would have waited until Sunday.
It just seems like a weird time to be like, and I want to marry you. Fucking Skeletor.
Right. So
Yeah, she's pretty
That
skinny,
being
as I'm gonna
said-
say. She got skin bones.
that being said, we're going to get right on out of here. I want to thank everybody for being here. Basement, thank you for taking over the stream. We'll be back home tomorrow night, and we are doing TLC. I will be live for TLC. So, yeah. I'm going to drive 6 hours, watch a Packer game, and then get ready for TLC.
Your choice.
I don't care. I'm going to watch it anyway, so I might as well stream it. So,
He has such a good mustache, doesn't he? So connected.
who?
Myself, obviously. All right.
All right. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for being here. Basement, go ahead and take us out of here.
All right.
Remember,
Goodbye.
Marty Skrull
I
is
hope
not-
everyone died. What?
I just said, remember, Marty Skrull is a bully.
Marty Skrull is a bully?
Not all elite.
Marty Skrull is going to AEW in the next 7 days. Confirmed
he's-
by my source, which is Dave Meltzer. We trade dick pics. He gives mine a 5-6 stars sometimes.
You 10 stars then.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna drop a load in the face.